Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes are sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Or just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. And not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade. Sipping motions of lemonade. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. There's a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Sack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Machegas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. A cupcake sweet and sassy. And not just a YouTube show. When you know. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
Hello. Hello, my friends. Hello. Today is Memorial Day here in the United States. It is a day in which we honor all of those very courageous men and women who gave up their lives in service to this country, fighting for those rights that we hold so dear, including one that we've been talking about a lot lately, freedom of speech and all of the others. And so it's not really a day of celebration. It's more of a day of remembrance, I think. And thanks to all of those who gave their lives in service of this country. I don't know how to pronounce this. Kesnell1 says, this Memorial Day, I'm remembering my uncle, Private Russell R. Kaiser of Company A, 503rd Parachute Infantry Regiment. Russell was 19 years old when he was killed in action in the Battle of Carter. That's what this day is about. So thank you all for your service, for your relatives, for their service, and those who tragically died in defense of this country. And thank you for letting us honor your cousin. Gato Y70 says, so happy to find your channel. To have found your channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Angie's Wave says, wishing you and yours a wonderful Memorial Day. Well, I'm here with you guys. I'm here with you guys because I know there are a lot of people who do not have anyone to spend the holiday with. And so I'm here for you. See? And here you go. Julie says, no happy in my Memorial Day. My son, SSG, Jeremy Bessa. God rest his soul. And I'm very, very sorry. Nobody should ever lose a child. Ever. Cats, Coffee, Cocktails, and Crime. R.I.P. Major Lofton Russell Henderson, Lorain, Ohio, Battle of Midway. Ugh, you guys are going to make me start crying already. It's like we're only like 3 minutes in. Snarktastic Sam says, to those veterans who sacrificed for us, we continue to fight for the freedoms. That's what we're trying to do. So I don't really consider Memorial Day a happy holiday, although a lot of people do get off from work. I think it's more a day of remembrance, but thank you for your wishes in any event. It has been raining here for the whole entire weekend. Kendall, you are not alone. It has been raining the whole entire weekend. Every single barbecue was a washout. It's been raining for days. And seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. I'm wondering if those like sunlight lamps that you buy from Amazon, does anybody have one of those? Do they do anything? Is it a good thing to have? It is very depressing to me when it rains so much for so long. Thank you, New Hampshire woman. I love you back. 31 months. Wow, that's a long-term relationship for us. Tammy says, God bless all that have fought to save our way of life. Yes. It's a show about nothing. You know what that is, right, Amy? Amy, if you know, you know. It's like a Seinfeld episode. It's the show about nothing. It's a show about nothing. You know why? Because there's so much drama and vitriol out there on the, I wouldn't even say it's the true crime streets. I'm just going to say it's the justice for John O'Keefe streets. So much vitriol and hatred and flipping, and it's wild to me. I don't like it. And as Scott says, this is drama free. This is the drama free zone. That means no drama, no doxing, no harassment of anyone. Keep it classy. So isn't it far better to do a show about nothing? It's really not going to be about nothing, because you know we talk about everything, than trying to stir up or even identify those people who are stirring up all of the nonsense. And I found something on Instagram the other day, because, you know, that's where I get all my good quotes. And it is this. It says, well, I thought what had happened was I thought I screenshot it. Hold on a second. But no, I guess I didn't. Wait. No, please. I guess maybe I'll have to find it in my saved. It said, today I learned about a term called a glimmer. This is what it says. A glimmer, which is the opposite of a trigger. Glimmers are those moments in your day that make you feel joy, happiness, peace, or gratitude. Once you train your brain to be on the lookout for glimmers, these tiny moments will appear more and more. Glimmers instead of triggers. Doesn't that seem just obvious? And yet so many people are just so full of hate and so full of vitriol for people they don't even know, that they fight on the internet all day long in defense of and against people that they don't know in real life. It's wild to me. It's the weirdest dynamic that I think we've ever seen in the history of the world. And I'm going to say it again. Social media is not good. It's not good. It's destroying relationships. It's destroying people. It's destroying. Yeah. Yeah. Your glimmer, the good witch. Thank you. I love you more, Donna Nealon. Thanks for being here for 27 months. And Michael, I don't even want to talk about this. Michael says, how about those Vegas Golden Knights up 3-0 over the Avs? Who saw this happening? Not me. Not me. I can't even put my hat on today. But I don't know. I hear the Knicks are going to game 4 tonight. And I am not a basketball fan. I don't do basketball at all. I don't like it. Just not a fan. I don't know. I just never got into basketball. But apparently, I guess if the Knicks win tonight, then they're moving on. And here's another question I have for you guys who are basketball fans. Hockey has the Stanley Cup. Football has the Super Bowl. The World Series, you know, is the World Series. But like, what is the name? Does the final game, like the winning game of this basketball series, have a name? Do they win anything? I mean, is there a trophy involved? How come it doesn't have a name like the Super Bowl? Scott says, go Knicks. Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce showed up at the game the other night, just walking in like two regular people. March Madness? No, that's college. NBA Finals, NBA Championship. So it's just the NBA Championship game. Like, it doesn't have a name like a Super Bowl. That's kind of like, it's not very creative. Not very creative. Oh, the Goodmans are here. Glimmer warning. You're going to like it here. Oh, hold please. So I'm rooting for Montreal in the Eastern Division, and I'm still rooting for the Avs. But if the Golden Knights win, then I don't know what I'm going to do, because the Golden Knights, the coach is John Tortorella, who used to coach the Rangers. And the Montreal coach is Marty St. Louis, who used to play for the Rangers. I do love Marty St. Louis. So I just don't know what to do. I don't know. Maybe I should get hats for both and just not commit to a side. Adam Silver's not very creative, says Maylin. I can't watch baseball. To me, baseball is like watching grass grow. I would rather watch grass grow than watch baseball. It just takes forever. There's no time limit. It just goes on and on and on forever. Tickets are too expensive. It's hot as hell, and I hate the Canes. I'm sorry if you live in the Carolinas. I hate the Canes. I hate them. They're really mean. I went there once when the Rangers were in the playoffs to go watch a series down there when the Rangers were playing the Canes, and the fans were really, really, really mean. I don't know what it is. Maybe I was just sitting in a bad section. Maybe the people around me were just way, 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 way too drunk. I don't know. But I can't support the Canes at all. James Lynch drank out of the Stanley Cup once. It was awesome. Rock on. I love that. Habs, a lot of Habs fans in here. That's very cool. Oh, thank you for your compliment. I appreciate it. I appreciate so many things I want to talk about, but I don't want to talk about anything that's divisive and hurt. It's just like, man, I just can't even. Many of you probably don't even know what happened last night on somebody's show who's been a complete anti for ever. And the final guest or the person who went on that show as a guest, zipping it. Banana Ball. Are you talking about the Savannah Bananas? I just need a latte. I think you would like Banana Ball. Makes the game fun again. The Savannah Bananas. I have seen them. Serenity Now. Noni, Serenity Now. Come on, tell us. All right. Well, I'm just going to say it, and then you can go watch it for yourself. Do you know who Twisted Tragedies is? Anybody know who that person is? That woman who, I don't know. I don't know if she talks about me or not because I've never watched her show before. But when I found out that the New Jersey lawyer went on her show last night, like as a guest, I was shooketh. I was like, what? I'm sorry. There is nothing I like more, as you know, than saying I was right. And I was right. I was right. I just can't believe it. I mean, it's like when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Yeah, it happened. And Brittany, it happened. I know. Is it that there's no one else who will let you go on their show? Oh my gosh, don't get in an accident because of me. Resilience. Resilience speaks like, oh my, I almost set the car in front of me. Don't do that. I don't know if anybody went over it last night or talked about it, but listen, when I like Elise more than the person she's talking to, then we got an issue. When Grant Smith Ellis becomes the most reasonable person in the room, we are definitely in the twilight zone, 100%. And he graduated from law school, and congratulations to him. And I think he had a birthday too. So congratulations to Grant Smith Ellis, who actually is the reason for my best-selling merch. I went to Cancun with attorney Melanie Little. He did. He helped us. I mean, whole place. Yeah, full of questions. Barbara's like, Melanie, you were right. Melanie's spitting facts today. I don't even know what to say other than I was right. Okay, moving on from that, because I promised you that we're only going to talk about nice things today. This is why we can't have nice things. Because there are people out there, I believe, truly, people, I'm not going to even say who, maybe not even that person, who were sent into the, quote, Free Karen Read movement to tear it apart. I called it from the beginning. Plants, chaos agents, rage baiters. It was always the plan. It's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I want to catch you up on Alvin Campbell's trial because there's been no reporting on it since they pulled the cameras out of the courtroom. And something else that I found that I don't know, check your notifications, because I did not get a notification for this, and I don't know how I missed it. First of all, Billy Bush is like 1,000 subscribers behind me. And so we really need to get our subs up, because I'm in an unofficial competition with Billy Bush. I have 134,000 subscribers. He has 133,000, and I can't have it. But he's a celebrity, so what am I gonna do? However, Billy Bush interviewed Spencer Pratt last week. How did this not come up on my radar? I didn't get a notification, but he had Spencer Pratt on his show, and Spencer Pratt gave him an hour or more. And it was, I think, Billy Bush's best interview to date. Or do I have any LA friends here today? Any LA friends today? Spencer Pratt has tapped into the angry mom demographic, and I think he's going to win. It was taped. Yeah, okay, so it wasn't live. It was taped, but it was still Spencer Pratt gave him an hour. That's crazy. Best interview that I think that he has ever done. And leave it to a guy like Spencer Pratt. I saw as I was, because once you start watching things about Spencer Pratt, everything comes up in your algorithm. And there was an interview with David Letterman from 2008 when he was on that. I don't even know what the reality show is, but that's where he met his wife. And David Letterman was trying so hard to like diss him and make fun of him. And like, he just rolls with it. He just wasn't having any of it. Everything David Letterman said to him to try and diss him, he had an answer for. And he spoke very highly of his wife, Heidi Montag, and he was like, she's the love of my life. And this goes back to 2008. The guy's been married for, I don't know, almost 20 years, I think. And that is, in Hollywood standards, that's a very long time. And for those of you who don't know, he is running for mayor of Los Angeles. He is running for mayor of Los Angeles. And if he wins more than 50% of the vote on June 2nd, which is coming up real fast, he will be the next mayor of Los Angeles. And it's not about political parties. I don't even know what political party he is, and I don't care. Don't even put it in the chat. He is running against drug addicts. He is running against, homeless people taking over the streets. He's running on a safety platform. He is running on a safety platform. And he has tapped into the angry mom demographic. And trust me, there are a lot of them. What happened to my notes app? Hello. Did anybody else do this latest update? My computer updated by itself, and now it's telling me I have no notes in my notes app. I have like a million notes in here. So we could watch a little bit of that interview if you like. I find it fascinating, because if you watched the debate, he blew Karen Bass out of the water. He was really nervous in the beginning. There's only been one debate so far in this mayoral race in LA, and I love LA. I love LA. If I could move to LA, I would move to the South Bay in a half a second. But I will tell you that since I've been going there and spending so much time there since 2020, and before that, but more so since 2020, downtown LA is and no shade to you guys who live there, but you guys who live there know it. Downtown LA is a dump. It is a dump. It is a scary place to walk around. Try walking down Hollywood Boulevard in front of like where the Walk of Stars is, or whatever the hell they call it, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Try walking around there during the day. It is scary. These mini bike people coming in, the smash and grabs, the theft, the homeless encampments all over the street, people shooting up in front of schools. And then she's giving out the needles, and I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what, Ron? You must be new here. Oh, did you? Oh, I was going to have fun with him. Oh, but because his first comment was, love you, Mel. Mel is right. LA has too many blacks, and blacks scare Melanie. Most of the homeless people in LA doing drugs on the street are white. So I don't know what the F you're talking about, but enjoy Block Island. I don't know if it might be raining today. You might get wet. But there's the 30 seconds of fame that you were hoping for. Oh, I love that for you. I love that for you. There's a parade on is there a parade on Block Island today? Enjoy the parade. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about idiots on the internet. That's just one daily example. There was also a recent FOIA dump on the John O'Keefe murder investigation, which is interesting. Some of that stuff is interesting. I have a bunch of stuff pulled up on that, but I don't know if I'm going to do that during this show because I just told you we weren't going to do the drama today. Maybe we'll do it later. I don't know. Any attempt to divide. It's true. It's true. It's true. I don't know. What is wrong with people? Who are these people and what is wrong with them? Could anybody just chime in here and let me know? Give me just a little, an idea. Who are these people and what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people that hide behind fake names on the internet so you don't even know who they really are, who attack people that they don't even know, and then try and dox, embarrass them, post pictures of their family? Who are these people? Who are these people? Goblins. Okay, Emily's doing a show tonight at 9. Thanks, Em. I have stuff I want to talk about. I specifically made a thumbnail for A Tale of Two Cousins. Half the thumbnail's Colin, half the thumbnail's Brian Jr. Don't do that one, Emily. That's mine. I'm taking that topic because I found it interesting. Can somebody tell me who Chud the Builder is? Who is Chud the Builder, and why am I saying that name all over everything that I pull? Listen, I can't know everything about everything. Does anybody know who Chud the Builder is? Because I don't know why my algorithm thinks that I know who Chud the Builder is. Who's Chud the Builder? Shout out to Bob and Allie, who did a great fundraiser for Aaron Spencer on the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. And I think there was another one yesterday for Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Has anybody fundraised out a little bit? I don't know. But they did raise over $30,000 for Aaron Spencer's family, which is amazing. Aaron's wife came on, Heather Spencer, and she seemed like as you would expect that she would seem, nervous, uncertain about her future. And it must be really hard to watch people talk about your husband's case for 12 hours and not know what's going to happen, But I did go on the fundraiser, and I did it started at 11 Eastern. I was on the noon hour with Michael Bryant. I thought it was a very interesting conversation. I hope you guys were there. I hope you watched it. I don't even know who Chud the Builder is. He's a YouTuber that's on his way to prison. I'm Gumby, damn it. Thank you for telling me. I had no idea. I thought he was like maybe a guy on one of those home improvement shows on HGTV. Like I literally had no idea. Okay, thank you. Big Old Dog said, Will DeGlera mentioned him. He's a confrontational influencer who shot an assailant in front of the courthouse. Oh, okay. Don't forget to hit the like button on this holiday. Thank you, TC. TC said, I loved you and Michael with the mottos. Oh, look at this person. Oh, hello, Sarah. Mel doesn't live around blacks. That's a fact. How do you know where I live? Wait, hold on. Let's look at her history before you, oh, you did it again, Scott. You got there before me. Oh, Sarah. Hold on. First comment ever on this channel. You joined YouTube 2 years ago. Let's see. You have no content, probably a fake profile picture. But you joined YouTube on June 9th of 2023. Congratulations to you. How do you know where I live? You know what, though? I really admire your tenacity because there's a 48-hour hold on chatting. So the fact that you joined this channel, you subscribed at least 48 hours ago, to wait and come in here with your racism is really admirable. If nothing else, you're tenacious. In what world did I ever display any bias against blacks. Ever. Edric Faust did not kill Tara Baker. That is my opinion. And even if he did, they certainly did not prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. But yeah, I don't live near blacks and I hate black people. Are you out of your fucking mind? Thank you, Sarah Ganim. Can somebody do a deep dive on this person? I mean, if you want to. Do you think she's the real Sarah Ganim? Ganim? Miserable people. Probably a fake name. Calling me Mel like you know me. Thank you. Thank you, team. I thought this was like obvious. Any racist comments or disrespect to our military will get you banned from the channel. Yeah, you're right. You know, the Carol, the four, you know, whatever those people are, the channel for the House defendants or the Haas defendants, they have an 8-week waiting period. 8 weeks you got to wait to chat on that channel. That's what I think. No. Revolting. Well, let's watch a little bit of Billy Bush's interview with Spencer Pratt to sort of dilute the hate that is out there. It's revolting. Yeah, they will wait as long as they need to in order to troll. It is really disgusting. It's disgusting. Try and get me to shut up. Is that what you're trying to do? Trying to get me to shut up? Because it's only going to make me scream louder and call you out more. And people are like, ignore them, ignore them. No, I think I am not going to ignore them. I think they're going to be publicly shamed on my channel. And I will pull up the comments and I will publicly shame you. I will publicly shame you. All right, where is Billy Bush? And then talk to me about about Harvey Levin. Like Harvey Levin all of a sudden switched sides. Like Harvey Levin was completely mocking Spencer Pratt by saying, you don't really live in that Airstream trailer in the Palisades. You don't really live in the Palisades. You live in the Hotel Bel Air. And all of a sudden, Harvey Levin has changed his tune. Did you know that TMZ is owned by Fox? I didn't. They used to be owned by Warner Brothers, and now they're owned by Fox. And did you know that Mark Garagos, he's got a YouTube show with, Harvey Levin has a YouTube show with Mark Garagos, and Mark Garagos was a sociology major in college. I did not know that either. I call sociology the study of the obvious. But TMZ is owned by Fox. They used to be owned by Warner Brothers. And Mark Garagos was a sociology major in college before he became one of the most high-profile defense attorneys in the country. All right, let's take a little bit of a look at the Billy Bush interview with Spencer Pratt, because Billy Bush won't strike me when, you know, TMZ would. So if you haven't seen it, I find it interesting. Let's watch a little bit of it where he talks about tapping into the angry mom demographic, which I think is interesting. And he says the polls aren't accurate because the moms don't have time to answer the phone. Okay. They don't even have time to answer the phone. They're the busiest people out there, and the moms are not answering the phone to participate in some stupid poll about who they're going to vote for. And I really, really, really think he's got a good shot. Let me know what you think. Yes, yeah, that's true too. I didn't know that either. I didn't know that Mark Garagos owns LA Magazine. Thank you, Cool Catch, which is the magazine that Lauren Conlin reports for. That explains why she's got Mark Garagos on her channel a lot. Well, wait a second. You know what I forgot? Oh, look, something shiny. Let's do our motivational quote of the day, because apparently some people need it. A lot of absolute morons out there. All right, let's see. Today is May 29th. I'm sorry, May 25th. Memorial Day is very early this year. It is unusual. Dostoevsky said, "To live without hope is to cease to live." I wonder if that's what it is. These people who are so vitriolic and hateful, they just have no hope left. There's no hope for them. And so they just become hateful. To live without hope is to cease to live. Thank you, Dostoevsky, for that meaningful quote. That's right, Emily. Moms don't even answer the phone when their sister calls from the front lawn with EMT lights and people screaming. Well, we know she picked up the phone at 5:07, right? We do. And again, these people on the internet who are fighting about Karen Read being guilty, it's like she's acquitted already. Move on. Do you literally have nothing else in your repertoire to even talk or tweet about? It's so sad. So sad. We need an empowerment card too, because we need to rise above. Let's do it. Here they are. Today is the opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. Today is the opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. There it is, your empowerment card of the day. Oh, thank you, Pearl Snaps. Thank you, Pearl Snaps. To say you're only going to focus on nice things today and then disparage what people less smart than you study in college. We are glad you're blessed. Oh, thank you so much for coming today. I don't think that Mark Garagos is less smart than I am. The point of that conversation was Mark Garagos turned into one of the most prominent defense lawyers of our time, and he was a sociology major. The things usually don't go hand in hand. But thank you so much, Pearl Snaps, for your moronic judgment of me. And so let's see where you go today. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, before that, you wanted me to post the link to my earrings and then wanted to know what was on my necklace. And then you come on here and you're gone. Bye-bye. You can send me a begging email to try and get back in, but it's not going to be granted because you too use a fake name. I have zero mercy today, zero mercy. Today's the day to celebrate the people who died for our country. And this is the bullshit you come in and bring into my chat. Who hurt you? Yeah, who hurt all these people? Disgusting. I'm sorry if you don't understand my humor. Go somewhere else, where you can maybe understand some really lowbrow humor. That might be more your speed.
Is short of 50%.
Here it is. It's lonely people who are here because they have nothing else to do to pick apart every single thing that I say. All right, Billy. Come on, Billy. Take us home.
Bound to happen. Everybody wants a piece of Spencer Pratt right now. He's the hottest politician in the country, and he's certainly caught the eye of Trump.
I'd like to see him do well. He's a character. I don't know him. I assume he probably supports me.
This is not a political thing. This is so common sense. That's why I keep saying I'm just a common sense American. It's a nonpartisan race. There's no letter next to our names on the ballots. The reason is because it's designed that way. The mayor's seat should not be a political seat.
Spencer Pratt on that, and
There's no letters next to their name. I did not know that. So there's no D or R or whatever on the ballot for LA mayor. I find that very interesting. We covered the Palisades fires live, remember?
with 15% containment, more than 40,000 people still. The Sandy fire is raging as we speak in Simi Valley. It's 1,700 acres with 15% containment, more than 40,000 people still evacuated. As of our discussion, it may change in 24 hours. Anyway, Spencer, I've known you a long time. I'd like to say welcome And with what I've said, is there any PTSD that pops up when we're talking about another fire that's raging right now? It's the whole basis for your campaign.
Well, thankfully, they have water for that fire, and they also have a lot of great brush clearance and fire breaks. And that's why they've been so good at stopping it from burning every house down there. So it gives me hope in my plan as mayor to actually make sure there's water around communities and that we clear the dead fuel and that it works, even with wind.
It's amazing.
It's fascinating to watch him because he starts off very calm, and then like all of us, he gets fired up over time. So by the end of this interview, and Billy Bush is such a good interviewer, and I think this is his best one yet. He gets really worked up because he's mad. He's mad. Like he's been personally affected by the way that the city of LA has been run. He's personally affected by this. He lost everything. He lost his home. His parents lost their home. His friends across the street from his parents in the Palisades burned in the fire. They died in the fire. This is outrageous what happened here. And he's so mad that he wants to actually go out there and make a difference. He wants to go out there and make changes. And I hope he wins.
That we haven't made that the priority of just living here. We live in a tinderbox, and that's part of it. The idea that a tractor right now, the wisdom is that a tractor may have hit a rock and fired a spark that started a brush fire, and then we get what we get. It's got to be the top priority of living in Los Angeles is preparedness, readiness for fire.
Yeah, my message is public safety. So if it's not fire, it's also not getting stabbed or macheted or home invasions. Right now, LA is just not safe. And that's back to what you said about angry Angelinos. They're angry because they don't feel safe. Their tax money is just being wasted through corruption and to increase drug addicts on our sidewalks. So they all connect. So public safety is a main factor in my whole success as mayor. After 8 years of mayor, I will have made LA the safest city in the United States of America. That's my goal. With that, there's so much opportunity. Hollywood will come back. Restaurants will stay open. Small businesses will have a chance. Hotels will come back. Tourism, everything predicates off of safety. If you don't have a safe, functioning city, nobody can live in it. And that's what's happening right now. That's why I'm resonating. That's why I'll probably win on June 2nd. Like, I don't think this goes to November. People are that fed up. It's not political parties. Democrats are all my supporters. All the lunches I go to, all my fundraiser events, it's all Democrats. So they keep trying to put me in these other boxes or I don't represent anybody but Los Angeles citizens that are fed up, that want their tax money to actually make them feel safe, not go through potholes, have the street lights work, have sidewalks that actually exist, not covered in human poop and urine and fentanyl.
He talks about human poop a lot, human feces. He talks about that a lot. Big Old Dog says he's talking about fixing LA, and Bass is talking about teeth from meth addicts. True story. Yeah, he talks a lot about super meth, which I don't know what super meth is. I guess it's like a super strength version of meth. I'm going to delete this just because YouTube doesn't like drug names in the chat, but it's a great point. Karen Bass wants to give everyone veneers. And then it was funny because when I fell into the rabbit hole yesterday on this, I watched a bunch of interviews, including one that he did with Dr. Phil and some other ones that he did with local media. He'll talk to anybody who wants to have him on their show. Hello, Spencer, come on my show. He's probably too busy right now. But he says at one point, he's like, listen, my father's a dentist. Like, I understand the importance of good teeth. And everyone needs good teeth. You know, if you want to get a job, you need good teeth. But how about we get them clean first? How about we get them sober first? And this is something else I did not know, was that in LA, there is a law that says that you can force people into treatment. You can force people into treatment. I don't know. We don't have that law here in New York, but he's saying, I'm not even going to change the laws. All I'm going to do is enforce them. These laws are already on the books. And Karen Bass has been turning a blind eye to these laws since she's been mayor. The city's a dump. I want to live here with my kids. I want to raise my kids here. And, you know, Karen Bass had, $400 million marked to house 1,400 people. He's like, the money is there. It just needs to be reallocated. And then he's talking about, these NGOs buying buildings for $11 million and then flipping the buildings and selling them back to themselves and their NGOs for $27 million. It's wild what's going on over there. And if you live there, you know it. You know it. It's kind of like what Giuliani did. Love him or hate him, he cleaned up New York City. You could not walk around Times Square back in the 70s, 80s. And Giuliani came in and he cleaned up New York City to the point where New York City is a really safe place. I mean, since 2020, it's a little bit scarier, but it's not as scary as LA.
All needles with naked zombies in front, naked drug addicts. I actually talked to this lovely Democrat mom the other day and she goes, stop calling them zombies. I go, why? She goes, because when I think of a zombie, it's not even scary enough. And I was like, I think of 28 days later zombies, not like vintage zombie. 28 days later zombies are scary. She's like, no. She said, zombies are not scary. She goes, a zombie, you think like, She's like, these people are coming at us. And I said, there's a couple different zombie movies. So I got to just crazy drug addicts.
Look, you've got a real movement going on here. And everybody wants a part of it. It's national news. It's, my brother's running for governor of Maine right now, and he's in a primary battle. And I told him Spencer Pratt is coming in. He's like, oh my God, he had a million questions, everybody, and they want to claim it. They want to be,
I love Billy, but like every now and then I'm like, Billy, wait, hold please while I bend over and pick up that name you just dropped. And he does it a bunch throughout this. It's like, my brother Jeb Bush is running for governor of Maine, and it's kind of like, and nobody knows about it. So can you help him? I don't know. Yeah, I know. Forcing someone into treatment won't help unless they want help for themselves. Some people just need to go through detox. I don't know what the answer is, but I know that mothers should not be afraid to walk their children in strollers down the street because they're dodging human feces and people, that are a bit scary. And it's a safety issue. He's right. It's a safety. Forcing people into treatment isn't going to help them unless they want to change. That's great. But getting them off the street is important too. I think so. 28 days later, zombies were so scary, HB Sunwriter says.
No, they want to have access to it. How do you describe the movement that you have built here? And I will say that Trump has come out and he wants to say that it's a derivative of him. How do you describe this movement that you have built? Why? How?
Yeah, my movement is based off of the failure of my city leaders and my state governor, my personal experience. This started just because they failed us in my community, let us all burn down, let 12 people burn alive. I started this fight just to expose corruption. And once I did expose corruption, I saw that it's business as usual. This mayor is just going to get reelected. That's why I ran to be mayor, just to stop the corruption that caused 12 people to burn alive in my neighborhood. So this is just a local community advocate that my message is obviously going across the whole world. I have people in Australia and Dubai, everyone, France messaging me because what I say is nothing to do with politicians on either side. It's such common sense. It's humanity. I'm the person saying, we're not going to let 7 people die on the street every day and give them needles with our tax money, give them tourniquets, give them alcohol wipes. I will not allow that as mayor. I'm going to get these people mandatory treatment, not empty beds, treatment, not jail. If you're a criminal, you go to jail. If you're abusing animals, if you're naked doing things in front of kids at parks or school, you're going to jail. But if you're just a poor soul that's addicted to super pure meth or fentanyl, you need to get medical treatment to get off of that, not an empty bed and needles.
This is there are other cities facing this, but this is.
We're big fans of exposing corruption around here, says Next Witness. And also he says at a number of points in this, not only this interview, but a couple of other ones that I watched, that he says that there could be a story breaking soon, that he's been talking to a lot of people behind the scenes, and he does a lot of appearances without cameras. He does a lot of stuff without cameras. And he says that their evidence may come out that the same people that are handing out the needles and the alcohol wipes and the you know, the tourniquets are also providing drugs to these people, which would be wild, wouldn't it? More exposure of corruption. Maddie Foley says the thing that struck me the most about LA is the potholes in the roads, even in wealthy areas, worse than any road I've driven in Mexico. Come to Long Island because we know a thing or two about potholes. Not only potholes here, but now sinkholes are the new thing. And it's virtually impossible to, every time you pop a tire on a pothole, to collect any money from the county or the state, depending on who is supposed to be maintaining the roadway to get your tire fixed. So I would absolutely 100% recommend to everyone who leases a car or buys a car that if they have it, make sure you get tire protection on your tires. Oh yeah.
Local stuff. When people ask me, you know, if it's similar to any other movement, I say Spencer Pratt is not a national movement. He's not part of a national movement. He is very localized, and this is Los Angeles specific. He's from here. This is his city. He's watched it dilapidate in front of him. When he says he represents angry Angelenos, it's almost apolitical.
I'm not political. I never wanted to be a politician. I actually hate politicians. Politicians are the reason my house burned down, my parents' house burned down. That is why I have to run to stop politicians that are part of a bureaucratic machine. I am a citizen, period. And I represent all the citizens across Los Angeles that are fed up. And it's not any party. We all are mad. Every side, like I keep saying, I have everyone supporting me except for the socialists and the communists. But Democrats, Republicans, independents, anybody, anybody that just wants the money they pay to make it where they feel safe. The fire department can come if their house is on fire, or if your grandma has a heart attack and falls down somebody comes, versus right now, all of our resources in the city are being abused by drug addicts. All the calls, every fire station I meet with, all the law enforcement, everything is going to 70,000 plus drug addicts that we fund to live on our sidewalks and in our parks and in front of our schools. This is not a political thing. This is so common sense. That's why I keep saying I'm just a common sense American. I pay my taxes. I expect the results that anybody that's a taxpayer wants. It's nothing that I do is political because it's local issues. Your water and power, your police, your fire department, your potholes, your sidewalks, your street lights. That has nothing to do with the national politics or who's in the White House or what party. It's nothing. Everything I'm saying, that's why my race, I keep telling people, it's a nonpartisan race. There's no letter next to our names on the ballots. The reason is because it's designed that way. The mayor's seat should not be a political seat. These current mayors that we've had have actually destroyed the idea of the mayor. They've made it a political position, and they talk about other states and they talk about national politics. All they're supposed to be talking about is the city and making sure the city's functioning and safe.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Spencer, I'm going to give you permission to use this. Here's a new slogan. Angry moms and common spence. What do you think? Angry moms and common spence. Make the shirts. Make the shirts. Here's something else I want to know about Billy's shirt. What logo is this on his shirt? Does anybody know what brand? It looks like a palm tree of some sort. It's not Vinnie Vines. It's not. I don't know. I'm curious. Now I'm going to have to Google image that. Okay. Kaylee Bob says, I'm just realizing that Billy is from the Bush family. Fun fact.
Talking about
Billy Bush. That was when he was on, I think it was Access Hollywood. He is remind me, Chad, he's the cousin of George Bush Jr. He's the cousin of Bush Jr., I believe. Willow Bend Golf Club on Cape Cod. No, really? It's not. I don't think it's Tommy Bahama. It's not Brooks Brothers. No. How about only if you really, really, really know the real answer, you tell me. If you really, really know the real answer, tell me. Is it a Bush? Here's the problem with like all the rumors in the chat is that I pulled them up, and I think that you guys have verified it before you put it in there. Silly me. And then I'm like, oh, it's this, and then I go with it, and it's not right. No, he's the cousin of George Bush Jr. And so the fun fact is that in his contract with Access Hollywood, they were forbidden from ever mentioning the relationship between him and the Bushes. I mean, he grew up in Kennebunkport. That's his summer house, right? And his brother Jeb is running for governor in Maine. He's the Bush. And so, yes. So Jonathan Bush, Billy Bush's father, Jonathan Bush, was the younger brother of former President George. That's George Sr. So he's the nephew, but George Jr. is his cousin. See what I'm saying? So it was in his contract with Access Hollywood that nobody was ever allowed to mention his relationship with the Bushes and the fact that they were related, and good for him because he wanted to make it on his own. He didn't want to be, known as a Nepo baby. And so there's that.
Is the city and making sure the city's functioning and safe.
Yeah, everybody should give up the D or the R if you're representing AA, Angry Angelinos. That's it.
There's no letters next to my name or Mayor Bass's name on the ballot for a reason. It's how it was designed. If they wanted it to be a party thing, it would be a party election. It's a nonpartisan race, period.
Well said, understood. Before we talk about some of the issues in front of us, and we already have, how are you doing, personally? Just how you holding up? What do you like? What do you read it? Do you meditate? He
doesn't sleep.
You're not.
He's like Bob Alessi in that he doesn't sleep.
A stranger to, media glare and all of this action that comes, but this is probably something you never imagined would be happening in your life.
Yeah,
or maybe you did when you went to USC and got that.
I think I said Jeb Bush. I didn't mean Jeb Bush. I meant Jonathan. I think Jeb is his cousin, right? His brother is Jonathan. His brother Jonathan is running for governor of Maine. I think I misspoke. Thank you.
At poli-sci degree, but not to this level, I assume. How are you handling all the energy? There's got to be.
The hardest part, obviously, besides not being with my family, is seeing the lies and the negativity and the hate against me for the message and what I'm trying to do. And now knowing all the communities.
Okay, now he's going to start talking about trolls. Because let me tell you what, you think we had a couple in here already this morning. You think I deal with a lot of trolls? You can't even imagine the level of trolling that this man has to deal with on a daily basis. Why? Because people are, it's just the way that people are. They've got nothing else to do. Men's Palm is the brand, says Mike M. Is it Peter Miller? I don't know. The babies are so cute. All right, let's hear what he's got to say about the trolls, and I love this.
The hardest part, obviously, besides not being with my family, is seeing the lies and the negativity and the hate against me for the message and what I'm trying to do. And now knowing all the communities and all these senior citizens that cry in my arms and ask me to stop what's happening and feeling that pressure, these people's anger. And then I represent these people and I have to fight for them. And just that pushback from the other side, I go, what are you fighting me for? These people, they must be.
You mean journalists? I mean, Karen Bass is going to fight you.
No, of course, journalists, people in they post, like, I understand being fighted when you're like an annoying, hated reality star. I get that. But I'm the one trying to fight to make moms safe, kids safe at school, get drug addicts to not die in the street, living in their. Why are you fighting me for this? Or the people that you're supposedly fighting for? They're the ones that have enabled this. They're the ones funding this. They're the ones creating this problem. You need to wake up and get out of this cult politics. There's not sides. This is humanity. So that's been the hardest, is like internalizing. Do you realize you're fighting against the side of good? All my message, I just want to save people's lives, save animals' lives, get LA to be the #1 city it should be. The people you're fighting for have already failed you. They've had 10 years in power between the councilwoman and the mayor. It's 10 years of being in. Look what they've done. I wonder why they don't fix it. Is it because they're benefiting financially? Is it the corruption and the fraud and the money they're pocketing themselves? Is it that bad? Like, you look at your competition is Karen Bass, obviously incumbent mayor. Nithya Raman is a councilwoman here in Los Angeles, in the Valley, Sherman Oaks, and other areas. But
if you watched the debate, tell me what you thought about this debate. It was such a joke. He was nervous in the beginning, and I was like, oh man, I hope he gets his feet. Hope he gets his feet. And by the end of it, he was just ripping them apart. It was fantastic. Lucy said, Runkle said the best thing about trolls on Mata's show this weekend It was something like they try to have an intelligent discussion, but they don't bring the tools. Right? I think there's something that I just love about an underdog. And I didn't watch the reality show that he was on. I never watched that show, so I didn't know him from those times. But I think I saw him in the beginning, and now I'm watching him now, and he's improving every single time I see him, and he's improving. And it's about common sense, and it's about safety, and it's about just trying to fix all of the things that everyone knows is a big problem in that city. And he doesn't care about political parties, and it shouldn't be about political parties. It should just be about common sense and humanity and making people feel safe again. Make Los Angeles safe again. That's what it's about. And a place that people want to come to. Hollywood is decimated. Okay. There are hardly any shows filming in Hollywood anymore, or even in California. Production companies are fleeing to Vancouver because they get amazing tax breaks, and Vancouver's a beautiful place to shoot anything. They're going to Atlanta. They're going to New Mexico. There's still a couple of procedurals shooting in New York, but Hollywood has been decimated, like the industry of Hollywood. And that's a shame. It really is. And there's something I just love about an underdog. And I love to see an underdog like this win when everyone was betting against him. Everyone was betting against him.
Just like a Democrat socialist. Nithya Raman endorsed Karen Bass. The next day announced that she was going to run herself. Very clearly, it looks like collusion to unload you. Are you pretty sure that if Nithya Raman came in second right after Karen, that she would basically take a dive, for the rest of the summer and let her get elected? Is she just a body man for Karen?
I think after her debate performance, I don't think there's a single person that is voting for. I don't even think she'll get number 2. I could see Reverend Ray beating her, because at least Ray Wong is an actual true socialist, not a champagne socialist. So I actually think I think Ray will get more votes than Nithya Raman.
You think she's out?
I think she doesn't even exist. I mean, I don't like these betting apps, because I don't think moms bet. They're busy, trying to keep their kids alive. So I don't think they bet. And would be all my bets is moms. But on the betting apps, she crashed from high to 9%. She just all the way down. So those people lost a lot of money. It was not a smart bet. I could have warned them.
If it's a Pratt summer, I think you're not going to sleep at all, my friend.
It's going to be a Pratt summer.
Well, thankfully, I have not slept since my house burned down, like a real night. So I'm now at almost 18 months of operating on 3 to 4 hours of sleep.
How's Heidi doing with all this?
Oh, Colette, it's been nice knowing you. Melanie Little, I'm very disappointed in you. This is supposed to be a true crime podcast, not a political podcast. Okay, first of all, Colette, this is not supposed to be anything. This is going to be whatever I want it to be. And guess what? This is not a true crime anything. This is LawTube. I'm going to talk about whatever the F I want. And this is not politics. This is about somebody trying to do something for LA and to clean up a city that let his house burn to the ground, along with at least 7,000 other houses in the Pacific Palisades in California. And they can't even rebuild their houses because there's so much goddamn red tape involved with trying to rebuild. So I'm so sorry that I've disappointed you, Colette. But this is not supposed to be, this is going to be whatever I want it to be. And you are the exact reason why true crime is too vitriolic. I'm a law tuber. I'll talk about whatever the hell I want. If you don't like it, go find somebody else. Do you not see what a reality TV star has done to your country? Oh, so you're not even from here. Okay, got it. Thank you so much for waiting at least 2 days to come in and voice your disappointment in me. I think I'll cry myself to sleep tonight. How's Heidi doing with all this? Let's talk about his wife. We're focused on injustice of all kinds and corruption. So maybe you didn't get the memo. Maybe you didn't get the memo on that. Thank you, Bernadine from South Africa. I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm so glad that you're here. And I hope I haven't disappointed you yet today. Poor Colette.
Way tougher than me. She's built
She's
right, talking about his life now. Hold on.
3 to 4 hours of sleep.
How's Heidi doing with all this?
Heidi is way tougher than me. She's built
She's psyched about all this? First lady of LA?
She's so locked in on just making sure our sons you know, our one son the other night, our 3-year-old, every night she heard him whispering and she's like, what is he saying? Like she always thought he was like saying prayers or something. She goes, what are you saying? Like she gets closer and he's chanting before he goes to bed. My house burned down. My house burned down. The houses will burn down. Like that trauma
Heartbreaking.
is so dark that she has so much to do just as like a mom trying to help. You know, people don't connect. These kids fled a burning down city. Their schools were burning, the sidewalks, they're banning, like everybody else has moved on and they go, oh, who cares about the palaces? But the people who actually lost everything, it's still fresh. So Heidi is just fighting as a mom every day. She's also the breadwinner now of the family because I'm in public service. Thank God for people supporting her music. She, you know, pays for the food for the kids.
And here's another thing about him being a reality star. He's got a poli-sci degree from USC, okay? Try and get your kids into USC from out of state. It's virtually impossible. He's not going to do everything. He's going to hire the right people to do everything. The stuff that he doesn't know how to do, he's going to hire the best people to do. Do you think that the mayor does every single thing? No, they have, you know, people working for them for a reason. They hire experts for a reason. I'm so disappointed in you. Emily says Spencer is literally talking about the true crime that he sees every day. This is true crime. The true crime on the streets of LA. Thank you. I love dogs. I mean, certain people can't look outside the box and they can't see the nuance in here. And it's wild to me. It is wild to me how close-minded some people are.
In COVID, you said, hey, guys, I'm not looking for, just send me a check. But, if you revisit Heidi's album from 15 years ago, didn't you? I mean,
not COVID, during the after the house.
Oh, after the house.
Yeah.
Driving people to
Wild Angel thinks
to buy it. And it went to number one. It went viral. Like Heidi was just exploded the album.
Hold on. Wild Angel thinks he's in it for the grift. Boy, you really drank the Kool-Aid here. People think politics is so easy to just step into at the highest level. I worked in it for over 30 years. He's in it for the grift. You worked in it how? How did you work in it? Were you hired by a mayor because of your expertise? Isn't that the whole point here? I don't drink Kool-Aid. Thank you for asking. I think Kool-Aid's kind of gross, actually. Although I did watch the show, The Studio. Did you guys watch that? The Studio. It's a really great series that's winning lots of awards, and they made a Kool-Aid movie. It was kind of like a joke. Ike Barinholtz is in it, Kathryn Hahn, Seth Rogen. Who else is in? The mom from, why can't I think of her name right now? She died recently. Tell me. My brain is mush. Catherine O'Hara. I got it first. Catherine O'Hara is in it, and they make a Kool-Aid movie, and it's kind of like a joke. You think he's grifting? His house burned down. I'm sure he can make a lot more money in Hollywood than he will as with the salary of the mayor, which I think is like $244,000 a year, because I looked it up yesterday. You don't have to like it, but I think I live in New York. It doesn't affect me. Okay. It doesn't affect me. I like to see somebody come in who wants to make some changes and make a city that they love a place where people want to visit right now. Do you want to go into downtown LA? Most people never go into downtown LA unless they have to go to the courthouse. He's mad as hell.
So thank God.
Your understanding of social media is, would you say, the greatest weapon you have? Because Karen Bass, I think, I've actually equated this before. My cousin, Jeb Bush, ran against Trump.
Okay, so Jeb Bush is his cousin. I was right about that. And his brother, Jonathan, is the one who is running for governor of Maine. Hold on a second. Let's see where we are here. Let's speed this up too. The people living in the sewers. Hold on. He's been able to capture rage. Okay, let's go.
In 2016.
up to 19 minutes.
Has this been allowed to persist and not a plan? This is the type of corruption. And I wonder
Corruption. Oh,
why.
that's what we talk about here. Corruption. Thanks, Billy.
Two things. Why has this been allowed to persist? And two, have you been able to capture rage in a way that no one else has before? There's always been people pissed off about living in LA, but you seem to have been able to build a movement and a momentum around it that's never been seen before.
Rage. People are angry. People are pissed as hell. People are outraged. We have an emoji for that. We are outraged. People are outraged and they're not going to take it anymore.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Never been seen before.
Movement. He's created a movement. We do movements here too. We do movements. We have made cases more public that DA's offices and states didn't want you to know about. And when we get outraged, sometimes our outrage helps.
Yes, everyone is very angry because it's so expensive in LA, the cost of living, and then what are we living in? I had this lovely senior citizen lady come up to me and she said, Spencer, I'm paying for 5-star service in Los Angeles and I don't get 1 star. And it was a great, and it's just this lovely old lady, and it's how everyone feels. Everything costs so much, and we live in a sewer right now. We have actual people living in the sewers, climbing out of the sewers. Their own kids are saying, please help my mom. She's having a medical psychosis episode, and she just runs off. It's on live news. They got it, and we don't even help that lady get to the medical treatment. Her own kids are saying, get our mom out of the sewer. So, yeah, I think, because again, I'm not a politician, and I went in there I never imagined, honestly, winning and being the mayor. Here we are. But I went in here just to be somebody that had a platform and a voice and to yell from the highest mountain I could get, this is unacceptable. We are done with this in Los Angeles. They're lying to us. They're stealing our money. They're giving people drugs. They're giving them needles. I know personally that people that are doing.
Here it is. Here's his Easter egg. Here's his Easter egg. He's telling us everything. Go, Spencer, go. Yeah, he was on a reality show. So what? You don't think he's grown up since then? And I did watch that 2008 interview with David Letterman, and it was interesting. He was even back then, he was like a smart guy. He loved his wife, or they weren't married at the time.
They're giving them needles. Any amount I could get. This is unacceptable. We are done with this in Los Angeles. They're lying to us. They're stealing our money. They're giving people drugs. They're giving them needles. I know personally that people that are doing the needles are also, with our money, they're also giving them the drugs.
Oh.
So get ready. That's coming.
Oh.
What do you have?
It'll come. But let me just tell you, my hunch that the city, we pay for all these needles, these people are also.
You think it's NGO related?
No, they're giving them the drugs too. So not only are we paying for the needles, the people that give them the needles are also giving drugs.
Do you have a research study?
Like the drugs, like the super meth, the fentanyl. He's going to expose it all. And that's why they're so scared. Oksana is here. I love you so much. Hi, Oksana. I love you. She said I would listen to Melanie read mac and cheese cooking directions and would learn something new. I love that. Love you, girl.
Are you going on this right now?
Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Breaking news.
Okay. That would be.
Let's just say everybody in the city tells me everything that's happening. So cases move slower than, the wheels of justice turn slowly, but I still know.
I'm sorry, what? What was that you said, Spencer? Are you watching my show? I say that all the time. What?
What's turning. And everybody in the city tells me everything because they all want this to stop. Everyone is stuck in this machine and they know they're part of this. They want it to stop. But, there's a lot of really good people that work in the city and they're I feel so,
50,000 people.
I feel so bad for firefighters and law enforcement. They just
Are you prepared to manage 50,000 people?
easily, because I will be a leader that cares about the city. Right now, these people don't care about anyone. They just care about their performative politics. They care about their little fake ribbon cutting. It's diabolical. It's like a scary movie we're living in. And again, like I keep telling people, Spencer Pratt doesn't manage the budget. Karen Bass and the people in the comment section, oh yes, the mayor does. Yes, I will be in the room with the people who are the smartest people in the world that will help me manage it. But it's not me on my calculator going, oh, nor is that Karen Bass. But I will get way smarter people than Karen Bass currently
Get
is.
honest people.
I'm going to get people that want LA to succeed. That's what we don't have.
Harvey Levin the other day said that he was speaking to you and you had mentioned a couple people that you would bring into the administration and who would be actively involved and help.
Harvey was trashing him, saying he didn't really live in the Palisades. He wasn't really in LA. He was living at the Hotel Bel Air. Just because your house burns down doesn't mean that that's not your permanent residence. I didn't get that. I thought it was completely off topic. Didn't read the room and so petty. It was so petty. TMZ's so petty now.
Get this thing going. I assume they are Angelinos because, it's going to be personal to them too. And then Harvey said, I can't reveal who it is, but he made a phone call to that person and confirmed. I'm going to guess. I mean, I think I might know who we're talking
I don't
about.
think you do.
You don't?
It's my ace in the hole. No one. It's going to be like,
I'm going to guess Rick Caruso.
it's not Rick Russo.
It's not Rick
It's somebody
Caruso.
who's got way more experience.
Can you tell me who it is now? Or are we still?
No. I can tell you off record.
This is during Pratt summer, but
He's like, I'm telling you nothing. I can tell you off the record, but here's the thing. Billy can't keep a secret. Billy kind of, sometimes he just blurts things out. You guys watch Billy. Sometimes he just forgets and he just blurts things out. Well, it's too late now. If you told him, you told him.
you'll tell me off record and I'll keep it. Okay.
Yeah. But that's what, that was Harvey's concern. When he talked to this person, he was like, oh, Spencer
or is it real?
Yeah. Spencer.
Well, Harvey says it's real, and I know it is,
Yeah,
listening to
So
him, but
this deputy mayor executes everything that I'm saying and makes it 100% happen. So back to, I'm surrounding myself with the people that will make LA the #1 city in the world.
will you transparency and
Every dollar.
and accountability is what we're
Every
talking
dollar.
about. Can you
So he goes on to talk about every dollar. And now, like, a lot of people are talking about these AI videos that are out there that are promoting him for mayor. And he did not produce any of those. Those are just things that people are just making on their own and putting out there, and they're going viral. And then he talks about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air one, which he says is one that was produced by him and his production company. So let's get to that. It's past the commercial. 3013. And he talks about, if you've seen that one, he's the Fresh Prince. It's to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song.
My point is, people think that anything people put out there is if it doesn't say this is Mayor Pratt legal campaign thing, it's not from mine. We've only shot actual with a direct.
But you have to love it.
I do, but there's also the other side. There's people don't like, if Gavin Newsom says something about this, then like, Spencer, why would you have Newsom say? I didn't write the script. I didn't make this. I don't control
AI is doing all of this.
Yeah, so it's like this frustrating thing. I got 40 new texts about 3 different new AIs that drop. I'm like, I don't have anything to do with any of these.
If it's good.
Thank you so much, Nancy S4062, for your $100 super chat. I appreciate you so much. Says, Melanie, you could never disappoint. Oh, thank you. I love you so much. So then they play a little bit of the Prince of Bel-Air. I'm not going to play it, but I'm just going to show you some screenshots of it. But he said that they filmed this in one day. They got the idea. They filmed it in one day. And he's going to say, whose idea was this?
Was it? And how fast?
So yes, that is not AI. That's real.
Whose idea was it? And how fast was the turnaround?
Excuse me. Somebody was trolling me on a TikTok and they put that music to my burnt out trailer. And so I sent it to my director. It was like, we're shooting a music video tomorrow. So I called a famous music producer and I said, I need you to recreate the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air right now. Cause if it's made from scratch, it's not a sample. So he had to recreate the entire song in however many hours. So then I get that sent. And then randomly the recording studio I recorded it in used to be Will Smith's production company.
Come on.
I swear. They're like, Will Smith used to have his production company. I'm like, this is insane. So I had Justin Bieber's vocal producer, Sean Fellon, do my vocals. And then the mix is Jason Joshua, who has 18 Grammys, who does all Beyonce's. So that is a premium level rap banger that we put out.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's
within a day.
Within a day.
While doing
the moves are tight.
Everything.
I mean,
when I say a day, 2 hours while in between fundraisers, an appearance in the Valley with mom, like a lot.
You did your part and said, okay, fellas, see you later. Put together the pieces.
In the morning, we dropped it.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things ever.
I mean, not many.
I mean, in one day they did that while he's pressing the flesh everywhere because he's going everywhere, talking to people. I've seen some other footage of him that I can't really show because I'll probably get stricken. But there are women who come up to him, like older women who are like hugging him and whispering stories in his ears. And he just like, he winds up like almost crying. And like, he's really trying to help these people, in my opinion. East Coast Thrifter says, never watched The Hills, not a fan of reality TV. People, it's scripted. I don't care if he was a villain. I live in LA and I am voting for Pratt.
White guys in a suit can pull that off to that degree.
Tell that to Chelsea Handler.
I was just thinking about, you have a lot of, you had a fundraiser, David.
I'm not really sure what that's about, but apparently Chelsea Handler, I guess, said some not nice things about him. I'm really sure. Didn't get into that beef. But wait 1 second. Hold on. Oh, I guess this is what it's about. So Chelsea Handler said something like this. We go to 3511.
She was like, it was just at a dinner party at, whatever house, whatever. She's even saying it's true. And the date of it, he had already been prosecuted.
Over there. Anyway, ladies, it was like,
the best part is she like defended herself in a
something about Chelsea Handler going to dinner at Jeffrey Epstein's house in 2010. So that's what that was about. That joke by whoever that comedian was. Gillis, I think is his name.
Comment section I just saw about this.
She slid in there.
And she's not to me, to somebody. That was a great post I just saw. She was like, it was just at a dinner party at, whatever house, whatever. She's even saying it's true. And the date of it, he had already been prosecuted for his whatever with mine. It wasn't like you went knowing this was on Google. If you Google his name, he had already been.
Oh, you should. Yeah. The whole world knew.
Yeah. It was not like it was post. It was post him already catching the case. So, lady, again, I'm fine with not getting that vote. I don't think she's a mom with kids going to the park. I keep saying, you don't have a kid in LA right now. You may not be as concerned about your kids inhaling fentanyl smoke at the swing or stepping on a needle. I don't think she has a dog. Maybe she doesn't have a dog because these dogs are even ODing from smelling fentanyl at the parks, or licking it. It's insane. Here's what people forget. I get 1,000 videos a day all across Los Angeles. Most of them I can't post because it's naked drug addicts, and you can't blur it because they're running. You can't blur. I don't have the technology. Maybe they have an app I need to get because they move fast.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
So people are having sex on the side, meth addicts having sex on the sides of the street where kids are going in the car to
gross.
school.
In what world is this okay? In what world? You don't need a D or an R or an I next to your name to make this not okay. And they're also, I don't know if it was this interview or another one of his that I watched, these drug addicts feeding dogs their drugs to test them because if the dog doesn't die, then the drugs are okay to ingest. You can't make it up.
For instance, a legendary NBC executive who I didn't even think we were cool because we had a little, beef back in the day. He's now my biggest supporter because he said he was driving in Toluca Lake the other day and his kids saw 3 meth heads having sex on the sidewalk and he had to explain what was happening. And he called me up and he said, I am doing anything I possibly can to get you elected and to get this back to LA, not naked drug addicts having sex in front of kids. So
Who is this NBC executive? Because I want to know if I like him or not.
his name's Paul.
Paul Telegdi. He's a neighbor of mine too.
Oh, so yeah,
Neighbor.
he's all in.
Was Paul on a show you were on? Or something?
No, he was the head of NBC.
I remember, head of
in the-
NBC
yeah,
Entertainment.
yeah.
Paul would stand right behind that.
Oh,
I
no,
know.
yeah, no, he's in. He's out there. He's probably door knocking for me right
His
now.
name is Paul, and you walked in. I know Paul and I've been on many. We've had know each other very, very well. Where do you need to focus your energy? Right. I mean, to me, if the west side of LA is a slam dunk, bye-bye. East side of LA, you got to get down in. And I know you have, but
Yeah.
where do you focus your energy this summer? What do you do?
So here's what people forget. I've been meeting with everyone in every part of the city. Everyone is so scared of retaliation from their city council member or the mayor and being connected with me that we don't do photos. It's not like a photo op. So where I get all my information is from community leaders who are telling me all the failures of their city council member and the mayor. So I've been out and about. It's just not, people think, oh, he's a social media campaign. I've been in these streets. So I already done that part. That's why I'm win June 2nd. I do not believe I go to November. I believe I'm winning in 13 days. So what people don't realize, the West Side, I got that right, if you want to say, but moms on the rest of LA, everybody wants their kids to feel safe. My message of getting drug addicts off the sides of the streets and getting them help is going everywhere. So
walk me through a drug addict's process. Let's say there's 2 people and they're doing crazy shit together on a sidewalk in the middle. They're contorted and teeth are gone and the whole thing. And, Karen says, let's get them teeth. That was a riot. But what do we do? What's the next step? You pick them.
Well, SB 43 is the state law. If it's clear, which if you're on super meth or fentanyl, you are no longer managing yourself. So we, as a society, they voted, amazing Democrat law, voted where you can take this person into mandatory medical treatment until they are in control of themselves. That could take 51 hours. It could take 72 hours. It could take 42 days. It could take.
And that's the law in California. He's not creating any new laws. He's saying that is the law. You can put a person in mandatory treatment for however long it takes. KBT says this is all so much worse than I knew. Not so much LA news in Texas, right? A lot of people don't know about this. SF in Texas says, I heard LA was bad, but no idea it was that bad. Listen, I'm a New Yorker, okay? I grew up when New York City was not a safe place, and I'm used to like the unsafe places, but I get scared walking in downtown LA because my sister always wants to go to sample sales, and they're always in downtown LA. If you know, you know. And it's scary even in broad daylight, okay? So there's that.
Up to a year. This is the law. I didn't make the law. It's not being enforced, but it exists. It's a brand new law.
It could take up to a year.
It could take it, and we are going to get people the treatment they need. You cannot get off these drugs.
Can our hospitals handle it?
We will, with the federal government. If we're spent $400 million to house allegedly 1,400 people, I'm going to take that $400 million and make sure we have the facilities and the treatment to get people off of these drugs so they actually can get into a bed and actually want to sleep in it when we get it to them. The other thing, City Watch just came out with the numbers yesterday. 60% of these people are not even from the state of California. So once they get sober, they may want to go home to a cousin, a family member, a grandma, and we will have the money because it's actually cheaper to get them treatment in Oklahoma or wherever they're from than LA, where it's expensive for everyone. So not to mention that the reason why they're here is because these NGOs, Medicaid, and these fraudulent rehabs flew them here because they're a product to these people. They have body brokers.
Listen to this. They're a product. They take their Medicaid money their SSD, whatever it is that they're getting. They're body brokers. These people on the streets are products. I thought this was such an interesting argument. But before we talk about that, the WeHo community will absolutely vote for Spencer. Same thing. West Hollywood is like getting a little bit scary. When you can't walk 3 blocks to go to Barney's Beanery to watch a hockey game, you know things are not good. Cat's Coffee, Cocktails, and Crime says 100 plus restaurants closed because people can't leave for lunch. Right. There's nothing down there. It's bizarre. Right. Serene knows. She's like, I would not go to sample sales alone. I know. That's why I got to go to all of them with her. Yes. Soft White Underbelly channel has thousands of videos of people living on Skid Row, downtown LA. Chic East Order says, I have watched them. I am traumatized by watching those videos. I try. And many of them I just can't get through. But if you can handle that sort of thing, check. If you've never heard of this channel, Soft White Underbelly, check it out. Because it's frightening and it's real. It's real. It's so real and it's so raw. And they do some amazing interviews. Victor Man says, may we never forget those who gave it all up so we can enjoy the freedom to choose. Thank you. Thank you. That's what today is all about. Those incredibly courageous men and women who gave up their lives fighting for our rights. Thank you, Victor. Aloha from Honolulu. Oh, there was a hurricane. Not a hurricane, an earthquake on the Big Island the other day. 6.0 magnitude earthquake. They said no tsunamis were expected. I know Honolulu is on Oahu, and I'm going to be there very, 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 very soon. My grandson graduated from Kamehameha High School last night. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Thank you so much. Hope I can meet you when I come there, as one of my daughters will be attending University of Hawaii Manoa in the fall. And we could not be more excited. Congratulations to your grandson. And thank you for your super chat. Sheila says, my dad was in the Air Force for 27 years this June. He's 95. Amazing. Minnesota Mama says, can you cover the Lee Gilly case? I love you so much. I have a lot of requests for that one. That's the guy who fled to Europe. I will. The thing is, there's so many cases to cover and there's not enough time. And when I cover cases, I like to really deep dive into them. I am not a channel that is going to come on and give you a very surface level AI scripted reporting of everything that happened this week. I just can't do it, because I feel like I don't want to talk about something unless I really do the dive into it. So unless it's like coming up for trial and I know the trial is going to be televised and we can watch the trial, it is very hard for me to cover every single thing that every single person asks me to, but you're not the only one. I like cases also that have a little more legal nuance to them. That's why we covered for only 3 days last week the trial of Dr. Ebony Parker, who is the first school administrator to be criminally prosecuted for the aftermath of a school shooting. She was acquitted by the judge. The case was dismissed on day 3. I think, if I'm thinking of the right case, he killed his wife and then he fled to Italy or something, right? I think so. Thank you for your 5. Lisa says, I enjoy watching all your lives, Melanie. Thanks for being here for 27 months and for renewing your membership. I appreciate you so very much. Lori Marie says, Melanie, sidebar. I saw Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band live last night in Boston. So empowering, so inspirational, so passionate about justice for all. I love that. How amazing is that he's, born in the USA. All of his songs are so many of them anyway, are about his passion for being an American. And he played the night before Memorial Day. Love that for you. I always say, buy the tickets. So many of you have sent me emails and pictures of you with your kids at a concert. You're like, I followed your advice and I bought the tickets. And here's a picture of me and my son at fill in the blank, a Kiss concert, something we always wanted to do. Buy the tickets, make memories with your kids, make memories with your friends, make the memories, Buy the tickets. And you know what? If nobody else wants to go with you, buy the ticket and go alone. You don't need to have a friend with you at a concert because you're going to be singing and dancing and enjoying the music. You don't need to be chatting somebody up or entertaining them. It's about you being entertained. Do it yourself. Thank you. I'm so glad you did that. I'm so glad that some of the things I say are resonating. Thanks, Lisa. I already covered that. Thank you for shining a light on corruption, Mel. Thanks, Honey Bear, for being here for 17 months and for suffering through all of my rants on mostly the daily. I didn't think I was going to do that today, but the triggers were greater than the glimmers so far during this show. Nicole says, I don't care what Mel covers. I'm here for it. Thanks for being here for 16 months. Karen Griswold says, you bring light to things we should care about. Oh, thank you for being here for 16 months. Spencer Pratt and Aaron Spencer. Nurse Not Lawyer says, great advice, but tickets are so expensive. Pro tip, make it a game time decision. Don't buy your tickets 6 months in advance because you're not even going to know if you want to go. Wait till the day of, get on StubHub, wait till right before the show's about to start, go near the venue and hit the bid on a ticket right before the show's about to start and you'll get a deal. You'll get a deal. I'm not suggesting anybody pay face price for anything. Trust me, nobody loves a good bargain more than I do. That's why I always tell you when the Dyson is on sale. Hold, please. Cupcakes for Justice says, the best part of the show is you play whack-a-mole with the trolls. Love it. You go, girl. Yeah, I call it whack-a-troll. Thanks for your 5 cupcakes for Justice. Melissa S. Yes, I put this up earlier, but she says the Hills wasn't even a real reality show. Spencer was just playing a character. It was revealed to be fake in the final episode, and everyone on the show has said the storylines were manufactured. There you go. There you go. On Top says, I'm here. Swiss Miss, respectfully loving you. Thank you so very much. On Top for your super sticker. Super chat. 420 main mom of 3 became a YouTube member. Welcome. Are you going to vote for Billy Bush's brother? I'm just curious. I don't know what his platform is or anything about him. Never Zen Jen says we need Pratt in Portland, Oregon badly. Thanks for the deuce. Joe Mar gifted 5 memberships because she's awesome. She's amazing. Thank you. Liz Marie, Judge Kathy Nobel says, I will send pleadings on Eliza Sherman in Cleveland. Is it going to be broadcast? I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here for 29 months. 20th Century Foxy says, so glad I went to the Wilbur and I got to see you in real life. Oh, thank you so much. I love that for us. Goodmans are here. They gifted 5 memberships too because they're amazing. They're amazing. Paula says, hi, Melanie. Emailed you the wedding cake picture as screenshot and body of email. Oh, thanks, Paula. You want me to show it to the class? Your wedding cake? You're making a wedding cake for somebody else the other day, right? Scott is getting frustrated. He's like, knocking off with the infighting. I saw Noni say, Bruce Springsteen doesn't endorse Spencer Pratt. Just FYI. I don't care. I don't care. Can't both things be true? Can I root for a guy like Spencer Pratt to be the mayor? And can I also like that Bruce Springsteen sings about how proud he is to be an American? Things that are, I think we're allowed to root for more than one person. That's just my opinion. Let's hear what else he's got to say. He's talking about the NGOs, Medicaid, and the people in the street being a product.
These fraudulent rehabs flew them here because they're a product to these people. They have body brokers and they want to make money off of their social security numbers through Medicaid. So once they tapped out and let these people do however much money they can, just leave them on the street. So when I take these people and get them help and get them treatment, get them sober, they may say, thank you so much, Mayor Pratt. I want to go home. I don't know how I ended up here. And we will find them a relative or a friend, and we'll find them treatment and connections where they want to be, because they need anybody that knows drug addicts or people that have suffered with sobriety. You need people that care about you around you. You don't just need an empty bed. So once we get these people sober, we need to find resources that people that now who maybe have given up on them because how many times somebody you care about, it's like they keep relapsing, that gets to a point where it's enough is enough. But hey, we help this person get on the right track. We need you to be involved and help and be a partner with us. And the amount of very successful people I've met with that will help fund real programs that's not stealing their money and just putting drug addicts on the street, people with really big hearts that care about LA, care about human beings. I won't even need that much federal or state or city. There's a lot of very wealthy people that want to help people.
No kidding.
And they don't want to do it right now because they know the money is just going to give these people needles and potentially drugs and have them living in their
I think you could get a lot out of
I
the
already
private
met
sector.
with these
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I just, we don't need to start naming them, but I'm so confident and it's going to.
I mean, it sounds like he's going to have a pretty good team if he gets elected. Let's just go to one more thing where he talks about his mom a little bit. And, you know, Billy says something like, do you feel like you were put here for this purpose? Do you think that, you know, God put you here for this? And he talks a little bit about his mom.
At zero, and you look at it, whatever it was, and as much as people.
Any connection like that?
So yeah,
For the moment where you're like, this is my entrenched, that it took a unicorn to do. And I don't know, you have any kind of spiritual moment where you're like, this is my purpose, this is I was put here for this, you know, for this reason. This is.
And we know Billy's had some spiritualism in his life. He did his psilocybin journey. He did I think he also did like an MDMA journey. He's been on a lot of spiritual journeys lately. And so I think, you know, Billy's had a lot of aha moments recently. And he's like, is this the reason that you think that you were brought here to do this?
Why my house burned down? I don't know. Any connection like that?
So after you lose everything, and as much as people do not comprehend that, when everything you've ever worked for, even if it was from selling crystals or being hated on a reality show or whatever it was work to get anything that was in that house and put there for my family and their futures. And that was their inheritance. When you lose everything, when your parents lose everything at zero, and you look and you're like, why would God do this? Why would God do it? You start, you know, for months and months. And then as I start fighting these people and I start exposing this stuff and I get to where I'm here now, I go, okay, I can connect with God on this. If you put me in the game to stop other people's houses from burning down, stop 7 people dying in the street, stop animals from being abused, get LA, you know, God knows how many people are hurting that I could fight for these people. I start thinking, you know, if you're going to burn somebody's house down and his mom's house and she's crying all day, you would burn my house down because I will, you know, the funniest part right now, the ops, because I said, God forbid some reason I didn't win. I said, well, I couldn't come back to LA. And it was like, oh, he's giving up. No, I didn't say I was giving up. I will fight these people till I go to heaven. I just said I can't rebuild because first off, I can't rebuild right now because I have to win a lawsuit against the state who's negligent, the city, LADWP. So that's why I already am not rebuilding right now. But
yeah. How many of these people who lived in the Palisades had their insurance companies pull out of California and not insure them anymore? It happened to me recently. The insurance company for my homeowner's insurance decided to stop writing policies in New York. This has happened a number of times to me. And I'm not waterfront here on Long Island. We're surrounded by water. Yes, we get hurricanes. It's true. I am not waterfront. I am I don't know how many miles I am actually from, well, I'm not close to the ocean. I'm closer to the sound side, but many insurance companies have stopped writing policies in New York and other places with weather. And it becomes a struggle every couple of years to have to find a new insurance policy that's going to write a policy in New York. These people all had some state insured fund because I think all of the carriers pulled out of the Palisades and other areas that were prone to fires because of so many fires and so many claims that they were paying out. And now you get with some 2-bit insurance company and they weren't even reimbursing these people if they even had the coverage, enough money to rebuild their home. So now they all have to sue the city. And God knows, you know how long that takes with these civil cases. The wheels of justice turn slowly in Louisiana too. Right. And we had Hurricane Sandy and like we've had a lot, even though Hurricane Sandy was so many years ago, that was in like 2012. Insurance companies are losing money. They're bleeding money. Try and get flood insurance in Louisiana. Exactly. Asheville, North Carolina. Who thought that would ever happen, right? I don't know, Sunshine Love. Is there something in the air today making people say crazy things? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of angry people out there. I don't know what their problem is today, but they're not going to ruin my good time with you guys. He's mad as hell and he's not going to take it anymore. And I love this for everyone in LA. Really.
God forbid these other people stay in power. The Palisades will burn again.
Yeah.
There will be no insurance to insure. Yeah. So when you're like, oh, he said he can't come back to life. No, it will be physically impossible.
This is the writer who said you were going to go live in Santa Barbara, not come back. You said, I'm out of here.
Because I wouldn't physically be able to build here. It wouldn't be possible. There's nobody's going to insure if these people stay in charge. You can't. Insurance is going to cost more in this area than it will be to build houses pretty soon. That once everybody's getting paid out, they're all going. These insurance companies probably are going to go bankrupt. People aren't getting what's happening.
You had to lose everything to be fully personally educated to understand how deeply this is. I mean, I think it happened for a purpose.
Don't ever mess with someone who has lost everything and had to rebuild, because those people are the toughest people I know. Any of you out there who ever had to rebuild after a divorce, after a devastation, after an act of God, after a death, you know it. Because you've done it before, you're going to do it again. And don't ever mess with a person who's lost everything, because they will not stop fighting, not just for themselves, but for everyone in their situation. Am I right?
Sadly.
And that's what I'm locked in on destiny mode now. So when people are like, you think you can win? I'm like, I didn't think my house would burn down. I didn't think my whole neighborhood burned down. I didn't think any of this was happening. So what's possible, when I started to run for mayor, it was just to get the truth out there. And then when you see this type of momentum, I'm like, oh, okay, this is only God. I have nearly the most powerful machines in the world trying to stop me. And everything they do just keeps on more momentum, whatever they throw just turns into positive. Anything negative turns into, I'm like, okay, God, let's go. And then before the debate,
okay, God, let's go. They did it to Lahaina. You're right, Shiggy's daughter. Even worse. A lot of thoughts on Lahaina. I'm not going to share them here. Joan has rebuilt 2 times. Jomar says, yep, that's true. Many of you in the chat have had to rebuild from nothing. Once a person who's lost it all and has had to rebuild it all, there's nobody stronger than that. Right? Preaching to the choir. Says, call me Murdoch and Monge, 1967. This is a great interview. I didn't think I was going to be as captivated with this as I was. And because I like to shout things from the rooftops or the hilltops, like Spencer Pratt, I wanted all of you to know about this because it didn't come up in my feed. It didn't come up. I didn't get a notification for this. I think this is Billy Bush's best interview ever. And I think everyone needs to see it. Look at Mima says she had to rebuild following divorce. Angie's Wave says survivors. Yeah, survivors. Let's do it. And when we watch a person who probably should not be serving life in prison without parole, CARLY Gregg at age 14 and others, Edric Faust, it makes me angry. It makes me outraged enough that I need to share it with you, and I need everyone to know about it because it's going on everywhere and not enough people know about it. James says rebuilding is never easy. Preach, Melanie. I completely understand it for a fact. Jessica had to rebuild after a divorce. I lost everything: house, furniture, clothing, mementos, etc. I feel you. Robin says, I feel this. You never ever expect to have to rebuild. Trust me. It was like they had literally, I forget how much time to get their stuff and go. Maybe like 30 minutes. It's, imagine you see the fires coming and you think, okay, well, they're going to get it under control. The firemen are coming. The fire personnel are coming. They're just going to come and they're going to be dropping water and it's going to get put out before it gets to me in our house. Just take what you need for now. No, that's not what happened. Remember, go back and watch my coverage on the Palisades fires in real time. It was horrifying to watch it in real time. And I think I remember here, Tiny Jesus. Let's go. Here's Tiny Jesus right here. I remember talking about Spencer Pratt back then because he became a very outspoken after what happened to him. And I mean, it's crazy that he's now running for mayor. Who would have thunk it? He's like, okay, God, let's go.
I prayed all day long. Like I think it's the first time I got on my knees and prayed. And I actually don't know the last time I was on my knees and prayed. I said, God, if you want me to be the mayor and do everything that I want to do for the city, you have me destroy these lying demons on this debate. And I'll know, God, that that's the plan. But if that doesn't happen and it, goes sideways, I'll know, okay, that wasn't my purpose. And I walked off that stage and this young little high schooler comes up to me. He goes, Mr. Pratt, thank you, sir, for being the only one on that stage that spoke the truth. I was like, let's go, God, let's go. I got chills right now. But that type of just the Holy Spirit. I'm like, okay.
You did. Were you surprised at how well you did in that debate?
I knew if God
and did it start becoming fun? Were you
I
nervous
wanted
in
another
the beginning?
hour. I was like,
okay. So then they talk about the debate for a while. And I think that's all I wanted to show you. We're already on an hour and 45 minutes in, and I had to stop a lot and rant, but I'm watching your stories in the chat of all of you. So many of you who had to rebuild. Look at Becca. I lost a child, and then 2 years later, my house burned down. We lost everything, but thank God we did have insurance to rebuild. Nobody should ever lose a child. I'm so sorry. Some golf girl says, yacht today, Satan, yacht today. Angie's Wave says, my sister in Northern California fires. Same what they said when the water came up to my waist and no price gouging. I'm pregnant. Be prepared, y'all. Best you can be. Congratulations. Summer D says he surrendered to God and God did the impossible. Truth from a pancreatic cancer survivor. Praise be. I'm so glad that you survived. Aman says, I had to rebuild my entire life after dealing with the loss of my brother. I'm so sorry. By the way, we were born on the same day, but a year apart. I'm so sorry. So that happens a lot in families, as a side note, that children have the same birthday. It's wild, but they're not twins. They're a couple of years apart. Lori says, amen, Melanie, rebuilding right now. And yes, I falter sometimes. I'm only human, but I never knew how much resolve I had within myself. Right. You know why? Because you have no choice. You're a survivor. You don't have a choice. You got to just keep going. You don't have a choice. Right. And you do it. You're going to make me cry. Eileen Taylor says, fantastic stream. There are so many of you who get it because you've done it. And 80% of my audience is women. So I see you. I see you. Let go and let God. Somebody said. Marcia said, I have started over with what I could cram into my car 6 times. What? I'm very happy now and I live very simply. Thank you, Melanie, for your service, love, and goodness. What, Marcia? Nurse Not Lawyer says I had a water leak and I had to renovate my whole downstairs and I'm still not adjusted. I can't imagine losing your whole home and having the strength to rebuild home and life. I mean, I cry thinking about other people that I don't even know. Being an empath is exhausting. It's exhausting. Thank you, Tiny Jesus. Somebody said something about CARLY Gregg, and there is a show that was just done about CARLY Gregg on Law and Crime, and I think maybe we should watch that next because there's so many people that don't know about CARLY Gregg, and the appellate arguments on that case are coming up on Wednesday, and maybe that would be a good primer. Here are my questions for the day. All right, so I will link Billy Bush's full show below. It goes on for a whole hour, and I highly recommend, and I suggest that you go watch the whole entire thing. If you are interested in learning more about Spencer Pratt and his platform of common spence. I'm going to call it common spence. I wanted to hear the questions that I wanted to ask you. Who is Chud the Builder? I don't know that I've really learned that, but he's apparently some sort of YouTuber that did a bad thing. Mackenzie, why is everyone talking about Mackenzie Shervilla all of a sudden? Didn't that case happen a long time ago? I don't know, but it's everywhere. It's all over my algorithm, and I just I didn't watch the documentary. Is it just people are talking about it because the documentary came out? I'm not really quite sure. What is super meth? That was another question for you. And again, where is Nancy? Still no Nancy. Still no Nancy. It's May 25th, and still no Nancy. And I guess people have stopped talking about, Nancy. Wrestler's mom says, you have no choice but to be strong. You become a fighter. Life is hard, but we make it through. Yeah, because we have to, right? And we do it for our kids too. So there's that. You're all stronger than you know. Common sense, right? What do you think? Angry Moms and Common Sense. I said he could use that if he wants to. I don't know. He's probably not watching me, but if anybody can get a message to Spencer Pratt, tell him Angry Moms and Common Sense. That's the platform that he's running on, and he should make shirts. It is exhausting, isn't it? Being an empath, I know. Because of the documentary. I don't know much about it. I saw some that the mom was on a show the other night giving an interview. I don't think that these documentaries are good for anyone to participate in. That would be my advice to anybody who's been involved in a real crime story. Like, just don't do the documentary. Don't do it. There's nothing good that can come of it. What good is going to come up from it? Rochard Dab says you can always do more than you think you can. That is true. New Netflix documentary is out and people are furious. It's all over my feed. I don't think I want to even cover it. Because I feel like it's everywhere. And if I wanted the clicks and the likes and the grift and the views, I would cover it, right? I mean, make it make sense. Hold, please. Okay, so I'm not going to cover that. Sorry, but not sorry. I mean, if you thought that Karen Reed brought out the wackos and the hatred, I don't even know what's going on with that case, and I don't think there's any need for me to cover it. And then there's that. Oh, I think what we should catch up on, however, because we have not been able to catch up on this, is the trial of Alvin Campbell Jr. We tried to cover it. The cameras were in the courtroom in Suffolk County, Massachusetts. The brother of the sitting attorney general, the sitting attorney general's name is Andrea Campbell. Her brother, Alvin Campbell Jr., is on trial in Suffolk County, Boston, Massachusetts, for graping, I don't know what it was up to now, 7 or 8 women, and posing as an Uber driver. The cameras were in the courtroom. Day one, we were ready to go. The camera that was in the courtroom violated the court's media order by broadcasting the names of the victims. Can't really blame them. They should have done it on a delay, which they did not. They did that on the Ebony Parker trial. Of course, that was in a different state in Virginia, also a Commonwealth. And so the cameras were pulled for good. We are not able to watch the trial, and I have only been able to find 2 articles about the trial so far. But I would like to read them to you. So for Oksana, who said that I could read her the directions on a box of macaroni and cheese and she would enjoy it, settle in, because the latest articles from this are from May 18th and May 19th. May 18th was the day of opening arguments, opening statements in which the cameras were pulled. And so let's hear what the Boston Herald had to say on May 18th. I'm going to use all of the words that YouTube likes better than the words that YouTube doesn't like so that we can try and get through it. And here is what the Boston Herald said on May 18th, 2026. This is very triggering. So for those of you who have to time out and take a break, time out and take a break. Are the directions on mac and cheese? Yeah, I think there are. Okay, here we go. Boston Herald's headline that day for this trial was, "It's not just graphic, it's criminal." Alvin Campbell's serial grape trial begins. The first alleged victim to take the stand in the serial grape trial of Alvin Campbell Jr. told the jury that she was tired drunk and stumbling in her heels when she got into what she believed was her Uber after a work party near TD Garden in December 2019. That's the last thing she remembers before waking up naked with V pain next to Campbell, 45, who was also nude in his bedroom in Cumberland, Rhode Island. She said, the witness is one of a series of women accusing Campbell, the state attorney general, Andrea Joy Campbell's older brother, of graping or essaying them between 2017 and 2019. Campbell faces a number of charges, including grape, aggravated grape, assault and battery, indecent assault, and photographing an unsuspecting nude person. Suffolk County Assistant DA Erin Murphy said in her opening statement that Campbell was a S-type predator who drove around busy Boston bars late at night looking for young, intoxicated women. That was Alvin Campbell's type, Murphy said. Women that had drunk so much they wouldn't be able to protect themselves. Remember, we saw the beginning of her opening, and then when she started naming the victims, I took it down, and I took it down for good, so you can't find it anymore, but I really did like Erin Murphy's style. Her name's Erin, E-R-I-N Murphy. And I'm sure she's trying a great case. If any of you have been sitting in the courtroom watching this trial, please let me know. Murphy said that videos on Campbell's phone and testimony from the witnesses who would show that the victims were not able to consent to the acts or the taping of them. They were left after each of these incidents to then piece together what had happened to their bodies, she said, but you won't have to because the defendant kept mementos. It's not just graphic, Murphy added. It's not just exploitative. It's criminal. Campbell's defense attorney, Andrew Carosi, C-O-U-R-O-S-S-I, Andrew Carosi, claimed that all the encounters were consensual, saying that just because the women were intoxicated doesn't mean that they were incapacitated. Memories aren't perfect, he said, and in this case, there are a lot of missing memories. I'm sorry, what? Did he drug them and then he's using it as an excuse? This is why so many women don't come forward, and I hope, nobody's reporting on this case anymore, even though the trial is going to go on for weeks and weeks. There could be more victims out there, and I submit to you that there are. Campbell was arrested. Oh, wait, hold on. Memories aren't perfect, he said. This is the defense attorney. And in this case, there are a lot of missing memories. He added that the footage, specifically certain noises and utterances, would show the women participating in the act, plural. Campbell was arrested after the victim, who took the stand on Monday, this is last Monday, the 18th, and who the Herald is not identifying by name, came forward to police in December of 2019. During that initial investigation, police said they saw the footage on the defendant's phone of other women who appeared to be intoxicated or unconscious and contacted them, some of whom didn't even have any memory of the event. After waking up, the victim said she got out of bed, grabbed the jumpsuit she was wearing the night before, went into another room and got dressed. Soon after, she testified that Campbell came out of his bedroom and handed her jacket and said her keys might be in the car. He then drove her to a Dunkin' Donuts, getting himself something to eat before dropping her off at a CVS so she could call herself an Uber home. It was en route to the CVS that she realized that she was in Rhode Island. While sitting in the car on the hour-long ride home, the victim said she called family and friends to tell them what had happened and to see if someone would go with her to the hospital. I knew I was graped, she told the jury. I was taught to go to the hospital and get a grape kit. As she described the examination, it was a full-body exam, she said. She started to cry. I really don't like needles, so I didn't look, but it was a lot, she said. Then the medical professional offered her medication to prevent sexually transmitted diseases and pregnancy. She didn't have to take every one, she said, but I took all of it. I didn't count all the pills I had to take, but it was anywhere between 5 and 10. She was at the hospital for 6 hours before she returned home and showered, she said. The next day, she headed with her cousins to Boston Police Headquarters, a police station she described as a building better suited to hold meetings than to take witness statements. We didn't know where to go, she said. We were only 26 and we just went to the first one that came up on an internet search. At first, they didn't want to take her statement because the alleged rape had happened in Rhode Island, but the victim's family members insisted, arguing that the victim had been kidnapped outside the Harp, where her work party had been held. Right, she was at a holiday work event. The victim admitted that she had texted a friend who was at the party, asking that friend to emphasize to police that it was a kidnapping, but then deleted the messages before handing her phone over to the Boston Police Department. I was nervous to hand my phone over to the police, she said, noting that she'd written to the friend about how poorly the department had treated her. During cross-examination, which will continue into Tuesday's proceeding, again, this was a week ago, Caurossi, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Courossi, I'm going to say Caurossi, asked, not Carisi, not like Carisi in SVU, because he's a good guy. Caurossi asked the victim questions about all that she'd been able to do that night, like getting into the car by herself, walking in heels, ordering an Uber. The victim said that she couldn't remember how many drinks she'd had, but told the jury that Campbell hadn't forced her into the car or threatened to keep her there. He didn't tell her to get out either, she said. And that was Monday, May 18th. And then the Boston Globe picked it up the next day, Tuesday, May 19th. Let's put that on the screen for you. And that's the last article I could find on that trial. How did I know Carisi came to mind when I said that? Because I love SVU too. I'm a Stabler and Benson stan. Love Mariska Hargitay with all of my heart. All right, here we go. This is from the Boston Globe, May 19th, last Tuesday. And here's a picture of Alvin Campbell Jr. sitting at the defense table. And that is a scary photo. He's a very large man. That was from Monday of last week. Brother of the sitting attorney general. A lawyer for accused serial rapist Alvin Campbell Jr. grilled a woman Tuesday about a text she sent when she woke up naked at his client's Rhode Island apartment after allegedly being kidnapped and essayed. Your first thought that morning was that this was a hookup, right? Attorney Andrew Caurossi asked the woman during cross-examination at Campbell's trial in Suffolk Superior Court. No, said the 32-year-old woman, who previously testified that she was drunk when she ordered an Uber to take her home from a holiday work party at the Harp near TD Garden in 2019, then passed out after climbing into the back seat of an SUV she mistook for her ride. She said her next memory was waking up the next morning naked and suffering V pain in bed with a naked man. Caurossi asked if she sent a text to a friend at 7 a.m. that morning saying, "Oh my God, I think that I hooked up with my Uber driver." The woman acknowledged that she sent the text, but said she was in shock after waking up next to a stranger with no idea where she was or how she got there, and sent a flurry of texts to friends. She later learned that the man had taken her to Cumberland, Rhode Island, and was not her Uber driver. She testified that the man dropped her off at a nearby CVS where she called an Uber to drive her back home to Boston. She sought a medical examination that day and reported it to Boston police. It led to the arrest the following month of Campbell, the older brother of Massachusetts Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell. Police found videos on Alvin Campbell's cell phone of him graping the woman as she lay unconscious in the back seat of his car, according to prosecutors. Later, a forensic extraction of the phone revealed videos related to the essays of 8 more women, prosecutors alleged in court filings. In the case being presented to the jurors, Campbell is charged with graping 6 women, indecent assault and battery on another woman, as well as kidnapping and secretly recording the attacks that occurred between February 2017 and December 2019 on his cell phone. The trial will resume Wednesday, that was last Wednesday, and it is expected to last several weeks. During opening statements Monday, ADA Erin Murphy told jurors that Campbell drove around Boston looking for women he could grape. She said evidence will show that he targeted women who had too much to drink and would climb into the back seat of his SUV, believing that he was a rideshare driver. In his opening remarks, Carusi told jurors that Campbell had consensual sexual relations with his accusers and that the women were intoxicated, perhaps, but not incapacitated during their encounters. On Tuesday, Michaela Pamonte, a friend of the woman who was allegedly raped by Campbell after mistaking him for an Uber driver, testified she saw her friend have at least 8 drinks while they were at the holiday party at the Harp on the night of December 6, 2019. She appeared to get progressively drunk throughout the evening, said Pamonte, adding that her friend was leaning against columns and railings inside the bar for support. Pamonte said she offered to call an Uber for her friend, but she said she had already ordered one. Pamonte said she watched her friend from the window as she left the bar, walking on an angle and stumbling a bit as she walked toward the curb. A large SUV pulled up, according to Pamonte, and the driver and her friend both held up their phones, seeming to confirm that he was her ride. She climbed into the back seat. About 18 minutes later, Pamonte said she called her friend, who should have been home by then because she lived in the North End. He actually did work for Uber at one point. He did. Pamonte said she asked, "Hey, are you home yet?" She said her friend told her she was still in the car, but "I'm fine though, I'm about to be home." Pamonte testified that her friend was in shock when they exchanged text messages the next day after she woke up in Rhode Island. She said her friend ran into some challenges when she reported what happened to Boston police, and she was initially told that her allegations should probably be investigated in Rhode Island. Pamonte said her friend sent her a text urging her to help convince people that she was abducted from Boston so that the local police would handle her case. During cross-examination, the woman admitted she deleted that text before giving her cell phone to police as part of the investigation, but stood by her testimony that Campbell kidnapped and raped her. And that's really it. It's really it. That's all we got from Monday and Tuesday of last week. I can't find any more articles on the testimony that's happening in this trial, and I don't know, for some reason, I just think maybe Massachusetts does not want you to know about it. But maybe we'll find out if he's convicted of all 8. Yes. Makes it terrifying. Oh, it's okay, Linda. It's all right that you're late. You can rewind. We're only 2 hours in. Makes it terrifying to use Uber or anything truly a predator. This awful man. They're arguing consent. Did he have little water bottles in his fake Uber that he offered to these women who were so intoxicated that they got in his car by mistake? And was there something in there? Were they roofied? I have so many questions. So many questions. Don't ever leave your girlfriends alone. Always check your Uber. Make your Uber driver tell you your name before you ever get in. Ugh. Makes me absolutely sick. In preparation for Carly Gregg's, they're still hiding this trial. They're not showing a live. No, there is no live. They cut the live feed day one. They cut the live feed day one. As far as I know, it is not being shown anywhere because whoever was the pool camera violated the media order, so they just pulled the plug on it. They were like, well, they could have delayed. They could have streamed it on a delay and muted all the names. They could have done it that way, but they chose not to. They just pulled the plug on it, and I don't even know which camera was in there. Was it Boston 10? Boston 25? I don't know. Hi, Nancy. I love you with all my heart, too. I love you with all my heart. Thanks for being here for 5 months. On top, thanks for your super sticker. If I didn't thank you already, thank you so very much. Peace Geek 1965 says, these are the kind of people who we need to run for office. Those who have connections with the people they represent and not craving power and money. This needs to happen everywhere in local politics. Going back to Spencer Pratt. Holly Brown says, when you are not here, I have separation anxiety. Thanks. Bridget says, hi, Melanie Little. I'm 51 minutes behind. I want to thank you for a nice Memorial Day chat. Rain has stopped in Rhode Island. Oh, good for you. I don't know if it's stopped here. I can't tell. Emman says, happy Memorial Day. Thanks to all who have served and continue to serve. We need boots on the ground to support these women. My heart breaks. Be strong. Thank you so much. I know. That's why so many women don't report. This is why so many women are afraid to testify. It's not right. Thank you, Nona to 3 for gifting 5 memberships. You're amazing. I love you so much. Oh, thank you, Betsy, for your Venmo. XOXO. Much love. Much love right back to you, Bets. Thank you, Laura, for your Venmo. Says, oh my God, my drink was spiked once, she says. Thank God my friend saw some creep trying to walk and carry me out. If you're going out drinking, always have a buddy with you. Love you. Love you too, Laura. I can't believe that happened to you. Thank God that your friend was there to save you. It's so scary. Thank you, Mary, for your Venmo. Says he can't chat or send supers for some reason. But Makazi G went over the TT disaster. Oh, you know what, Mary? Send me an email with your channel link. It has to be the link to your channel. YouTube has been blocking people that my mods and I have not blocked. So just send me the actual link to your actual channel, not just your username. I can't do it that way for some weird reason. And I'll take care of it, as I do. Deshai says, Tully in 24 report knew about Jen's 507 call. Karen Reed confirms that Jen spoke with Coco, told Jen to tell Karen Reed at 5 a.m. that John never came in the house. Lock them up, says Deshai. Thank you for your 5. Lock them up, she says. We're not covering that right now, but maybe later. Did you guys watch the Carly Gregg thing? Do you want to watch the Carly Gregg thing? Carly, I think it's going to be televised. I have it on my calendar for Wednesday in front of the Mississippi Supreme Court. I don't know exactly what time it's going to be yet, but I believe it is going to be televised. It's the Mississippi appellate arguments for Carly Gregg on Wednesday. I believe so. All right, everyone's into it. You're here for Carly? Okay, I haven't watched the whole thing, and you know the long crime can sometimes be a little bit how we say biased. I don't know. But let's at least check it out so that you guys can point out all the things that are wrong about it. Oh, you have no idea who she is or what the trial was about? Okay. 14-year-old girl on trial for shooting and killing her mother and shooting and not killing her stepfather. He survived. 14 years old, tried as an adult in Mississippi. Within 6 months of the crime, I think it was 6 months later, she was found guilty by the jury and sentenced to life with ever having the possibility of parole in Mississippi at 14 years old. She was on several different medications that were prescribed to her by Zoom type providers. And Linda Lane says, Carly needed help, not a damn jail cell for the rest of her life, for heaven's sakes. Right. I mean, when does somebody's prefrontal cortex fully become formed? I don't know, 25, 26, 27. I mean, they keep raising the age. It was a crazy case. We watched it together. I think we were all in collective shock when she was found guilty and sentenced to life with ever having the possibility of parole. It was insane. Hold on. And so Law and Crime just did another piece on it the other day. It was kind of like a recap, I guess you could say. Twisted murder trial. Wait, is this it? That's from 1 year ago. Okay. This too might be triggering for you. It's about 40 minutes long. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it. Oh, it's in their special series called Female Criminals on Law and Crime Network. So this will be a good introduction to the case for those of you who don't know anything about the CARLY Gregg case. And for those of you who do know about the CARLY Gregg case, you can point out to me as we go along what they got right, what they got wrong, and whether you believe that this little 14-year-old girl should be sitting in prison for the rest of her life. They did reveal here that she is in a juvenile facility, so thank God for that, because we originally thought she was going to have to go to adult prison and be in solitary. Emily C says, based on what I've seen on Twitter, some people's prefrontal cortexes have never developed. Ain't that the truth, huh? Ain't that the truth? All right, let's go on. For those of you who don't know anything about CARLY Gregg, at 2:15, we are switching topics to CARLY Gregg. And this is Law and Crime's Female Criminals series about CARLY Gregg. Here we go. For those of you, I'm going to rewind it again. So I just want you to come to your screen. If you know nothing about this case, this is what you need to know. There were cameras inside the house. The cameras captured this. And right away, you can see the dogs coming out. The dogs know something's going on. This is the camera from inside the living room, kitchen area. And the first thing you're going to hear is a gunshot. And we're pivoting. And there's a trigger warning. And if you don't know anything about this case, I'm going to trigger warn you now. Okay? Let's go.
A 14-year-old girl accused of the unthinkable.
Hey, what's her name? CARLY Gregg. CARLY Gregg? Does she still have a gun on her?
This is her stepfather. She shot him too, but he survived.
I took it from her. She ran.
Sheriff's office! Hey, come outside for me, buddy. Hey, come here. Hey, where's your wife at, buddy? Where's your wife at?
She's dead on the floor in that room.
When the teen suspect is caught, the courts show her no mercy.
So the jury.
Remember, she was hiding in a drainage ditch. That's when they found her. She looks very confused. I happen to think that she had a psychotic break of some sort. She was hiding in a drainage ditch or a sewer or something, and her stepfather, his name's Heath, right? Fully supports her, as do her grandparents. They say, this was not CARLY. CARLY didn't do this. And I believe, if I'm not conflating my cases, there is no insanity defense in Mississippi. That's why the case had to be tried this way. All right, here we go.
Where's your wife at?
She's dead on the floor in that room.
When the teen suspect is caught, the courts show her no mercy.
So the jury will either acquit you, or you'll be facing 2 life sentences, or this court can sentence you up to 93 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's your choice and your choice alone to proceed to trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
How does a bright student become the focus of a brutal homicide investigation, one that no one saw coming?
Which hand did you shoot with? Which hand did you shoot with?
I'm Elizabeth Milner, and welcome to this episode of Female Criminals.
She does a good job with this. Remember, too, she invited her friend over to see the body.
Gregg. At just 14, Brandon, Mississippi, that's where we meet CARLY Madison Gregg. At just 14 years old, CARLY is the youngest female criminal we've featured so far. CARLY Gregg was born on April 23rd, 2009, to parents Ashley and Kevin Gregg. Behind what appeared like a normal suburban life, CARLY has already dealt with profound loss. In 2012, CARLY becomes a big sister. CARLY's baby sister, Natalie, is reportedly diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder shortly after birth. She tragically passes away in September of 2013 at just 18 months old. Their family fractured even further. CARLY's mom, Ashley, and her dad, Kevin, divorced, reportedly over Kevin's drug addiction and mental health battle. CARLY reportedly struggles with her own mental health, too. At an early age, she's diagnosed with bipolar disorder. but it's manageable through therapy and multiple medications. As Carly gets older, she excels in school, to the point she even reportedly skips the 3rd grade. But Carly's home life later shifts. In 2020, her mom Ashley remarries a man named Heath Smiley. Ashley takes up his last name, becoming Ashley Smiley. Carly keeps her biological father's last name, but she and her stepfather Heath grow close. He becomes the father figure in her life. As Carly enters her teenage years, her mom and stepdad continue to support her mental health until March 19th, 2024. By this time, Carly Gregg is in the 9th grade. She attends Rankin High School in Flowood, Mississippi, the same school where her mom is a math teacher. On the morning of March 19th, 2024, Carly and Ashley head to school. It's part of their usual routine to ride to and from school together. That day, the 14-year-old got into an argument with a friend at school over a secret Carly didn't want to surface. It's something her parents don't even know. Carly has been secretly smoking weed. But Carly's friends begin to notice that something deeper may be happening. Out of concern for her, Carly's friend sends an anonymous email to her mom, Ashley. We'll never fully know what was said on the ride home from school that day. But this
is wild. This is bringing back all kinds of memories from the trial for me. How about you? Okay.
security footage hints at the tension. Once they enter the house, the security camera captures Ashley heading straight to Carly's bedroom to the right of the kitchen. This seems to make Carly nervous. She's seen pacing back and forth in the kitchen, but then she tends to the family dogs. The teen then lets the two family golden retrievers outside. She stands outside with them for about a minute before coming back inside. The home security footage shows Carly walking to the left toward her parents' bedroom. Whatever she grabbed from their bedroom, she's concealing it behind her back. What happens next is also captured on the home.
Yeah, if you can come to your screen, because this was wild too. She's hiding the gun behind her back. She lets the dogs out. It's almost like, I mean, to me, looking at it, it's like she had a psychotic break and then all of a sudden, then she's lucid. I think that's probably what the jury convicted her on, was her hiding the gun. And then didn't she take the camera and hide it in the refrigerator or something? She's waiting for her dad to come home. She texted from the mom's phone. I don't want to get too ahead of it for those of you who haven't seen this at all, but just watch the security footage, which is here. Okay, so here's when they come home and they pull into the garage. So if you can come to your screen safely, do so. Not if you're driving an 18-wheeler, Mike.
What was said on the ride home from school that day. But this security footage hints at the tension. Once they enter the house, the security camera captures Ashley heading straight to Carly's bedroom to the right of the kitchen. This seems to make Carly nervous. She's seen pacing back and forth in the kitchen, but then she tends to the family dogs. The teen then lets the two family golden retrievers outside. She stands outside with them for about a minute before coming back inside. The home security footage shows Carly walking to the left toward her parents' bedroom. Whatever she grabbed from their bedroom, she's concealing it behind her back. What happens next is...
Spoiler alert, it was the gun.
Also captured on the home security camera, and it's shocking. In the video, the family dogs, they're freaking out. Only one person walks out of the room, Carly Gregg. Ashley never appears again on surveillance video after that moment. But Carly doesn't call 911. Instead, she texts a friend, there's been an emergency. And she even takes a moment to sing a few bars.
What song is it?
The friend arrives to the Smiley home. Soon after, Carly's stepdad Heath arrives. Within minutes, 911 is on the line.
911, what's the location of your emergency? I went too hard, Katie. Help me, I don't know what happened. My wife is dead. What's on it tried to shoot me? Your daughter tried to shoot you? Yeah. She ran out of line shooting at me. Where's she at? I don't know. She ran away. How old is she? 14. 14? Ma'am, stay on the phone with me. Just calm down. What's your name? My name is Heath Smiley. And what's her name? Carly Gregg. Carly Gregg? Does she still have a gun on her? I took it from her. She ran.
Rankin County deputies and emergency responders rush to the Smiley home. It takes a little bit of time for Heath Smiley to open the door, but when he does, he's hysterical.
Sheriff's office! Sheriff's office!
This is Rankin County, Mississippi.
Hey, hey, come outside for me, buddy. Hey, come here. Hey, where's your wife at, buddy? Where's your wife at?
She's dead on the floor in that room.
The first responding deputy moves through the home. Carly and her friend are nowhere to be found. What he does find, though, is Ashley Smiley's body.
Sheriff's office! Hello? I need medical here.
Heath Smiley has been shot too. He's suffering from a gunshot wound to the shoulder, but he's more concerned about his wife Ashley and finding his stepdaughter Carly.
Hey, where's your son wearing? Hey, can you tell me what your son's wearing? Hey, I need you to talk to me. What is your son wearing?
She was in jeans and a grayish t-shirt. She's got short.
How many times did he say it was his daughter? I mean, or his stepdaughter? I mean, he never said son, I don't think.
Can you tell me what your son's wearing? Hey, I need you to talk to me. What is your son wearing?
She was in jeans and a grayish t-shirt. She's got short brownish hair.
So, jeans, a gray t-shirt, short brown hair.
She ran into the backyard. I tried to follow her. She jumped the fence and ran. She shot me in the neck. It's okay.
Does she still have the gun?
It's on the kitchen counter. I think there's one live round left in it. I opened the cylinder. I went in the back door and she tried to shoot me.
Okay. Hey, I need some gloves. Hey, he's saying that she ran towards Magnolia Place.
Are you shot?
He's grazed, but he's 10-2. It went through his shirt.
You got me right there.
Magnolia Place, that gate is subdivision.
She went over the side back towards my vehicle. She might have looked around this way.
Might look back, going back towards the pond right there.
Hold on just a second, buddy.
She's laid in the floor with a towel.
The search for Carly intensifies. Deputies are concerned she could still be armed.
Hey, y'all do be advised, there's several firearms in the house, but the one that he's saying was used is laying on the table, but that doesn't mean she's not armed.
We don't know for sure she's gone.
What's your wife's number? Name?
Ashley Smiley.
All right.
Have you called her? Have you called her?
Called her.
Your wife.
I did call her number twice, but I ran in there looking for her. And I looked in the room.
Hey, how old is Ashley? How old's your wife?
40.
40? Hey. I mean, I'm getting information. Go ahead. It's a through and through the shoulder. Okay. As of right now, this is him. She's what? She's 7. Okay. Ashley Smiley, she's 40 years old, and then the one we're looking for is CARLY Madison Gregg. Okay. She's 14. Okay. They've been having issues with her. Okay. And the dad. So, okay. Because it's a stepdaughter. Okay. But if it's, hey, if we need anything else from him, if it's a roll with him, I said we'll probably send somebody up there with him.
Heath is taken to the hospital and is expected to survive his injury. As more investigators arrive, the focus is twofold: process the scene of Ashley's murder and find any clue that can lead them to Carly.
I didn't really get much from him.
This was so crazy. I forget how much body cam there was and just the horror of it all. And by all accounts, she got along with her mom fine. I mean, would she shoot her mom over finding pot in her room? I don't know. This child, and I'm calling her a child because she was 14, even though she was tried as an adult, had been through so much trauma in her life, losing a sibling, dealing with, by all accounts, allegedly a drug-addicted father who did some pretty horrific things to her, according to some of the medical providers that testified. The girl had been through a lot. Not that that's an excuse or anything, but it could give a little more insight into what happened here. And none of us know what happened here because we weren't there. We didn't hear from CARLY at the trial.
Because he's so,
The focus is twofold. Process the scene of Ashley's murder and find any clue that can lead them to CARLY.
I didn't really get much from him because he's so, all he told me is she took,
He's a little jacked up.
Yeah. All he kept telling me was she ran out the back door, but the back door is deadbolted.
You got blood.
Yeah, what's the easiest way to...
Maybe he probably deadbolted it kind of in the heat of things to try and keep you from coming back. Hey, did he say the wife's name was Ashley?
Ashley? Yeah. Who needs it?
Then you agree.
Ashley Smiley. Ashley Smiley.
Where's mom? She's in the back bedroom.
Tyler got the good camera.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler, the gun that's used is right there on the counter in the kitchen. No.
Nobody?
No. Hey, there's a bunch of gun cases and stuff laying right there. That closet's slam full of guns. So we know she may still have access to them. Me and Dustin cleared the house.
I'm talking every closet, under the beds, everything. You know how juveniles are. They'll hide in the damn spot.
But Dad, he said she ran out the back door.
I know. But Dad might. Yeah. You never know. Look, I want to go through the house and I want to very politely. I want to look under beds. I want to look in closets, behind clothes. Let's make sure she's not in this house before we exhaust a whole lot of it. You know how juvenile are.
Did y'all?
Me and Dustin walked through and cleared the house, but I mean,
did you look under beds?
We didn't go that far. We looked in closets and stuff like that.
Less than 5 minutes later, a call comes over the radio. They have CARLY in custody.
101 to the Kilo unit has got the female subject in custody. Investigations requested she be brought here to the scene.
CARLY is found still on foot, nearly half a mile from her home.
Let me get I got a cuff on her. I got her handcuffed. All right, sweetie. Look. Let me step out real quick for me. All right. That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on around to the front of you, okay? I'm going to move the handcuffs around to the front of you. Okay. All right. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to swab your hands, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Now, well, I'll ask you a bunch of questions, but obviously you fired with a pistol, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, look. I need you to hold your hand out like this. Do your right hand first, okay? It's your right hand. Just like that.
Swab up here.
What is this?
It's a GSOR. It shows which hand did you shoot with?
Okay.
Which hand did you shoot with? Alright.
Go up.
Flop the hand, turn the hand over.
Turn it over.
And rub on the outside part around the knuckles.
Where do you want?
She looks like such a baby, doesn't she?
I guess you can put it in my vehicle with my key. Key fob is not in the pocket.
All right, so go ahead and do it. All right.
Is that okay?
I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you about this.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Lisa, what?
The teenage friend who had been at the house and later ran from it is never accused of having any involvement in the crime. CARLY Gregg is charged with murder and attempted murder. She's transported to the Rankin County Juvenile Detention Center. However, she's only held there for a little while. She's transported to the county's adult facility, charged as an adult with first-degree murder, attempted murder, plus tampering with evidence. Due to her age, the teen is kept in solitary confinement until trial. She's held behind bars on $1 million bond. CARLY's case.
Judge, tell me if I'm conflating my cases. Judge Dewey K. Arthur, that was his name, right? Judge Dewey K. Arthur. They pushed this case so quickly, and I really thought it was because Dewey K. Arthur wanted to get her out of solitary confinement because he really, really thought that they would find another option for CARLY Gregg other than an adult prison for the rest of her life, like perhaps a mental institution or a mental hospital or something. Yep, Dewey K. Arthur. I had Bridget Todd, one of her defense attorneys, on my channel more than once about this case. She's no longer practicing, I don't think, in Mississippi. I think she moved to another state. But listen to that again.
Any involvement in the crime. CARLY Gregg is charged with murder and attempted murder. She's transported to the Rankin County Juvenile Detention Center. However, she's only held there for a little while. She's transported to the county's adult facility, charged as an adult with first-degree murder, attempted murder, plus tampering with evidence. Due to her age, the teen is kept in solitary confinement until trial. She's held behind bars on $1 million bond. CARLY's case makes headlines all around the world. The question on a lot of minds was simply, why? On April 16, 2024, weeks after CARLY's arrest, Rankin County investigator Zachary Cotton is called to testify during CARLY's preliminary hearing. Investigators review the home security footage, and new details begin to emerge.
CARLY proceeds to return to the kitchen, concealing her hands behind her back. We hear a heavy object being set down on the counter, and then she proceeds to get Ashley's phone and begins texting on it. You know who she was texting? I believe it was Heath, based off the text messages that he received.
If CARLY texted Heath from Ashley's phone pretending to be her, was she luring her stepfather home?
Oh, this text. Essentially asking about how long it would be till he got home. When Heath comes up, the interior camera had been taken down. By the time Heath comes home, who took that down? CARLY. Then Heath comes in, you hear some gunshots, and then you see CARLY run off. Big bag. Yes. Who's that? One of her friends. Like, how did the friend go there? She was driven over there by her father. Why she did? CARLY asked her to come over. Do we know for what purpose? She showed her deceased mother to the friend. Showed her deceased mother? Yes.
According to investigator Cotton,
she showed her mother's body to her friend. Here's another point. Thank you, Wrights On. I'm already twitching. Parents, keep your arms locked up unless you're carrying. No kid should have open access to any arms, right? Because you know what would have happened? What would have happened if CARLY took that gun and shot her friend? Likely the mother and or stepfather and or both of them would have been charged for CARLY's actions. Tragically, what happened here is that CARLY took her mother and or stepfather's firearm, which was underneath the mattress and loaded apparently, and tragically killed her mother. There was no issue about whether she did it or not. It was just the issue was the punishment.
the interior camera was taken down by the time Heath arrived back at the house.
You talk about the camera. Where were the cameras site? There was the one that was in the garage that was attached to the garage door opener, the device itself for like the lights found and all that. And the other one was later found in the fridge of the residence. It appears she was aware of those cameras.
Yeah, the security camera was in the refrigerator.
Yes, sir, because she had her hands concealed behind her back the entire time, and which she's believed to have a firearm.
During this April 2024 hearing, CARLY's attorneys argue her $1 million bond should be reduced because she's a teenager.
And there's Bridget Todd, such a fierce advocate. I think they took this case pro bono, right? As I recall, she's so beautiful, and she took this case pro bono with her partner, not her partner in her real law practice, but a guy, another defense attorney who agreed to, I think, do this pro bono, if I recall correctly.
The judge ruled to keep her bond as is, saying the teen poses a, quote, special danger to others. She stays behind bars in the Rankin County Adult Detention Center for a few more months. During an August 27, 2024 hearing, the defense informs the judge they want this case in front of a jury.
So the jury will either acquit you, or you'll be facing 2 life sentences, or this court can sentence you up to 93 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's your choice and your choice alone to proceed to trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Carly never.
It's wild. She's making adult choices at 14 years old. I mean, I'm sure that she was obviously informed by her attorneys and probably spoke about it with her grandparents. It was all pro bono, right? She's like, yes, I understand. She's 14. Being tried as an adult.
Never waived her right to a speedy trial.
Or you'll be facing, so the jury will either acquit you, or you'll be facing 2 life sentences, or this court can sentence you up to 93 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's your choice and your choice alone to proceed to trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Carly never waived her right to a speedy trial. And because she's being kept in solitary confinement, attorneys pushed to move the case forward as quickly as possible. Carly Gregg's murder trial goes before a Rankin County jury in September of 2024, 6 months after Ashley Smiley's murder and Heath Smiley's attempted murder. The prosecution's theory is Carly Gregg killed her mom to hide her secret, then lured her stepfather home with the intention of killing him too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear testimony throughout the next few days during this case. You'll hear about some.
This is the prosecutor, Catherine White Newman. It's triggering me all over again. Carly needs help. Carly needs help. And remember, we had an Amazon wish list and you guys sent her so many books to read. Ugh.
Your testimony.
Father. The prosecution's theory is Carly Gregg killed her mom to hide her secret, then lured her stepfather home with the intention of killing him too.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear testimony throughout the next few days during this case. You'll hear about some secret life that Carly lived. You'll hear that Carly had a secret boyfriend. You'll hear that Carly had a secret iPod, that she had secret social media accounts that she was using to communicate with people on this iPod when her parents had taken her phone away. You'll hear that she was secretly cutting on her thigh using a knife.
Wow, that makes her a criminal. She was cutting her thigh. That is a cry for help, that this girl has serious psychological issues that need attention.
You'll hear that she secretly had burner phones her mom and stepdad didn't know about that she was using. You'll hear that she had secret weed vape pens and that she was secretly smoking those vape pens and getting high before going to school at times. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not why we're here though. We're here because of what she did on March the 19th, 2024. You'll hear that when they get inside the house, it's only their 2 dogs, Ashley Smiley and Carly Gregg. Immediately, Carly goes and lets the dogs out. You'll hear testimony that Ashley then goes into Carly's room. You'll hear that while Ashley is in her room, that Carly's still outside. At some point, Ashley finds what law enforcement believed to be the 4 boxes that contain vape pens. Testimony will be that we believe she carried them from Carly's room to her bedroom, went back to searching Carly's room.
Oh, the music. Oh, with the music. Don't get me stricken. Okay, this is interesting. R33 says she shot 2 people, killing 1. Is this because she's a girl? Would there be this much passion if it was a boy? Welcome. I don't know. Maybe you don't know me. It doesn't matter what sex the defendant is. I don't root harder for the girls than I do for the boys. See Edric Faust. Whatever sex the child is at 14 years old, who has a history of serious mental health issues and also being put on all kinds of pharmaceuticals that perhaps they were changing up the pharmaceuticals and she went cold turkey on one and was taking another. That could be an issue here too. Yes, absolutely. There would be as much passion from me if this was a boy at 14. Riddle me this, since you want to start this conversation. Why is it that Colt Gray in Georgia, the 14-year-old who did a school shooting in Georgia, has not yet been tried, but his father has. His father has been tried and convicted, and he is serving how many years in prison? Yes, it's law and crime that markets the crimes by gender, not me. I want to know a lot more about Colt Gray. I also had some sympathy for Ethan Crumbley, even though he was 15, that I think Ethan Crumbley needed help. And so if we throw these children in jail for life without ever having the possibility of parole, and we don't ever give them the chance at rehabilitating, it's back to, is it nature? Is it nurture? Were they born evil? Their prefrontal cortexes are not even formed yet. I think that's part of the issue here. Right. And yet we have 16 and 17-year-old gangbangers being tried as minors. Exactly. Exactly.
The evidence will show that almost immediately upon CARLY coming inside the house, that she walks straight to her parents' bedroom, that she goes straight to her mom's side of the bed and removes a .357 Magnum from under the mattress. We believe the testimony will be that then she concealed that .357 Magnum behind her back as she walked through the kitchen. She peeks her head around. We believe the testimony will show that she peeks her head around the kitchen to make sure that her mom hasn't come out of her bedroom. We believe the evidence will then show that she walked with that .357 Magnum behind her back, walked into her own bedroom, and then fired 3 shots into her mother, killing her. We believe the testimony will then be at that very moment after she shot and killed her mother, she then hides that gun back out of the camera, walks back into that kitchen, sits down on the stool with the gun behind her, picks up her mother's cell phone, puts her mom's passcode into the phone. We believe the testimony will be that then she texted her stepdad and said something to the effect of, "When will you be home, honey?" Testimony will be that then she waited for him to respond. "I'll be a little bit longer." She sends him a thumbs up.
The defense never denies that CARLY is the perpetrator of this crime. Instead, they lay the foundation for an insanity defense.
Oh, there's Bridget. There's Bridget Todd. Yeah, I guess there is insanity defense in Mississippi. I think I'm conflating my cases right now. So here's CARLY Gregg. I said this from the beginning. I think that, I don't remember if Bridget confirmed it or not. I got to go back and watch my old shows with Bridget, but it's obvious what's happening here. They're dressing her to look much younger than a 14-year-old and to look like, a Catholic schoolgirl, I think, in a lot of this. And it's everything that a defendant wears during a trial is planned and scripted. And yeah, there's Jesse Butler getting the old juvenile discount and doing exactly 0 jail time for graping 2 16-year-old girls at his high school who were his girlfriends, and choking one of them so severely that she was 30 seconds from death. That guy gets, a year of therapy and some community service in Oklahoma. But I don't know. Yeah, Dwight says, I'm not so sure she has her marbles. Let's watch Bridget. And then I just scheduled a show for 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, we're going to come back and talk about The Tale of Two Cousins, Colin and Brian Jr. And also Allie's in there too, because we have statements from all of them. Thank you to the FOIA dump. So I'm going to teleport you there after this, but we're going to take a break in between the 2 shows because, this is how we do it. It's a double day Monday. Come see Bridget if you can.
That CARLY is the perpetrator of this crime. Instead, they lay the foundation for an insanity defense.
This is not a whodunit case. We know who took action on March 19th to bring about the death of Ashley Smiley and the injuries to Heath Smiley. However, this is a why case. Why did it happen? Why did this exceptional child with no history of violence, who was loved by her friends, her teachers, her parents, who had a good home life, who loved her mother, why did she shoot her mom? Why did she shoot at her stepfather? The state would like you to believe the answer to those questions don't matter, but we know better than that. The answers to those questions is why we're here today, and it's what you're here to do. We believe the evidence will show that there were 3 victims on March 19th, Ashley Smiley, Heath Smiley, and CARLY Smiley, and CARLY Gregg, that they were all 3 victims. While the events on March 19th were tragic, the events on March 19th were not intentional. The evidence will show, and the testimony will show, that CARLY Gregg loved her mother, that CARLY Gregg and her mother had a loving, close relationship. CARLY Gregg's mom loved her. In fact, her life revolved around CARLY, as parents' lives often do revolve around their children. CARLY very much.
And you can see just one of the times that CARLY broke down during this trial. I mean, you could see her. Look at her. I mean, she looks like a little baby. And I felt like her breaking down during parts of the trial was authentic. I don't know. Other people probably think she was faking it. There you go.
Wanted to please her mother. CARLY was an exceptional student. Made a 30 on the ACT when she was 13 years old. She was the apple of her mother and her stepfather's eye.
The defense makes it hard to.
We don't do ACTs here. How are they graded? She got a 30 on the ACT. What is that? Is that like a perfect score? I don't know. Yeah, CARLY is getting the appeal is being argued on Wednesday, which is why we are now rewatching this Law and Crime Female Criminals recap, because we are going to watch the appellate arguments on Wednesday. The grounds for the appeal we will discuss after this. Let's finish this out.
Ignore CARLY's age during trial. Her wardrobe emphasizes
father's eye.
The defense makes it hard to ignore CARLY's age during trial. Her wardrobe emphasizes a schoolgirl-like image, but any image the defense is trying to create is challenged by the evidence. This is Rankin County 911 dispatcher Kevin Collins. He's a witness for the prosecution. He testifies he was on the line with CARLY's stepdad, Heath, after he was shot. Over at the defense table, CARLY can't control her emotions when the 911 call is played for the jury.
Hit me back a little bit. Okay, so did Grace your leg? Yes, sir. All right. And what's her name? CARLY Gregg. CARLY Gregg? Does she still have a gun on her? I took it from her. She ran. You took it from her and she ran? Yes, sir. What's your wife's name? Ashley Smiley. Ashley Smiley.
On day 2 of trial, the jury hears from a 16-year-old girl only identified as BW. By the judge's order, BW's testimony is not recorded on audio or video because of her age. But with the trial transcripts we've obtained, we know what exactly she shared. The teen witness, who by this point is in the 11th grade, reportedly...
Oh, they're telling us everything. We didn't get to watch the her friend's testimony. So they got the transcripts. Good on you, Law and Crime. And they're going to tell us everything.
Testified she had known CARLY since the 9th grade. She testifies CARLY called her to come over on March 19th because she needed help. She says CARLY sounded jittery, secretive, and scared on the phone, but didn't say why. When BW arrived to the Smiley home just before 5 p.m. that day, CARLY asked if she'd ever seen a dead body. BW says she answered no. That's when CARLY showed BW her mom, Ashley Smiley's body. The witness reportedly testified CARLY confessed to shooting her mom 3 times and had, quote, 3 more waiting for her stepdad, Heath. Heath arrived home soon after. CARLY allegedly asked BW if she wanted to go outside while she took care of her stepdad. While she's back there, BW testified she heard 3 shots ring out. She then met back up with CARLY, who said run, before jumping over a fence. Following BW's testimony, the state calls another key witness, Heath Smiley.
How much did Ashley love CARLY?
They loved each other so much. She just, everything she did, she planned out for CARLY and around CARLY.
Tell us about yours and CARLY.
This is the stepdad who totally stood behind her, as did her grandparents.
CARLY's relationship before March 19, 2024.
We were always good. We laughed and played and messed around, loved video games, and took her to karate stuff until she kind of got tired of that. And she started going to guitar practice weekly. So I was taking her to that every week.
So by all accounts, on the outside looking in, CARLY has a regular teenage life. Heath says there were a few instances CARLY got in trouble at school. During one particular incident, he recalled CARLY bringing a knife to campus.
What was the result of her bringing the knife to school?
They have a zero tolerance policy on that and sent her to an alternative school until I think it was that Christmas break and let her come back.
So she had to spend time at the alternative school as a discipline.
Yes.
The focus of Heath's testimony eventually shifts to the late afternoon of March 19, 2024.
Tell us about what that next message is that you got from Ashley's phone, Heath.
Said, "You almost home, honey."
Does that sound like something Ashley would typically say to you?
Not typically, but it wouldn't have been totally out of the realm. I think she would have phrased it slightly different, but I don't know.
What time was that text message sent to you?
That says 4:14.
Do you recall telling law enforcement that you thought that CARLY actually sent you that text instead of Ashley?
I was wondering about that one at the time. Yes.
And then what did you respond to that message?
Said, "No, I'll be here for a little bit yet, at work."
And then you can't see it on this, but I think maybe CARLY or whoever had her Ashley's phone sent you a thumbs up.
Sounds correct. Yes, it's not on there.
So Heath, let me ask you, what made you think that that was CARLY that sent that message and not Ashley?
I don't know, just something with the phrasing of it, maybe. I'm not sure.
He testifies when he arrived home, he was met with a gun to the face.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen exactly what you remember about when you came home on March the 19th, 2024.
Everything seemed pretty normal, and I came on in, and when I opened the door to the kitchen there, gun went off in my face before the door was, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches wide open. And everything kind of went pretty fast from there. It was a blur.
What did you remember seeing, Heath?
Just gun flash in my face, and then it went off 2 more times, but my hand was on the gun after the first shot, and I twisted it from her.
Who was pointing that gun at you?
It was CARLY.
Who pulled the trigger when you opened the door?
The first one I know was CARLY. After that, my hand was on the gun too, and I know I had a scratch on my thumb and all. I very well could have hit it. I know that third time.
Do you remember?
It's hard to believe that this trial was September 2024. Is right after Karen Reed's first trial. We covered it, I believe, within 6 months of the murder.
Telling anybody that you were in such shock that you didn't even try to shoot CARLY back or anything like that?
No, it was very evident to me immediately that something was very, very off with CARLY. The way she was screaming, the way she looked, she was moving so fast.
Heath Smiley is cross-examined by his stepdaughter's attorney. The defense, who argues CARLY was legally insane at the time of the shooting, focuses their line of questioning on CARLY's mental health and her biological father, Gregg.
What, if anything, had CARLY told you about her biological dad, Gregg, doing drugs?
Everyone that I can think of, it sounds like he has either tried or does regularly.
And what did CARLY tell you about her biological dad doing drugs in her presence?
He was constantly doing drugs in front of her, blowing smoke in her face. Turns out that he sat her down and made her drink an entire beer when she was 12.
Would you say that CARLY was scared of her dad?
Blowing smoke in her face. making her chug an entire beer when she was 12. Kid had been through it by the time she was 14, in addition to losing a sibling.
Yes. She did not like having to go up there, and she was not herself for a day or two after coming back.
And would you say
the deprogramming that happens after seeing a toxic parent who has visitation? Anybody know what I'm talking about?
that Carly's mom was scared of her dad?
Kelsey
Yes. Anytime they spoke of him, it was like a deer in the headlights. They would freeze up and be shaking sometimes if they were talking about him.
Do you have any idea why Carly would want to shoot you?
No.
And we all heard Carly screaming when you walked into the garage, from the garage into the kitchen on March 19th. How did Carly appear to you when you walked in?
Like I said, my initial thoughts were she was terrified, scared out of her mind. I still to this day don't think she ever even recognized me. Something was wrong there. I don't know what, but something was off.
And when you walked into the house, did Carly say anything to you?
No, just...
Oh, that damn music. Why do they gotta put cheesy music behind everything? I gotta go deep into the archives to even find my playlist on this trial, because somebody, good citizen, asked how many days the trial was. I'm trying to find my own playlist so that I can give you that information, but gotta go through pages and pages and pages and pages. I'll find it for you.
We're screaming.
When it comes time for the defense to present their case, they rely on the testimony of forensic psychiatrist Dr. Andrew Clark.
Based on your evaluation, was there a period of time in which Carly's mental health issues began to be more significant?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
So beginning from around the age of 9 or so, what Carly reported was that she began to feel depressed, that the auditory hallucinations, meaning that she was hearing voices, that those continued, that these experiences of feeling like the world wasn't real continued. And then somewhere between the ages of 9 and 11, the depression continued, and she then began to cut herself. And as I understand it, she'd been cutting herself for...
This expert was so good. The trial was 5 days. It was 5 days. The verdict came in on day 5. It was only 5 days. And the jury didn't deliberate for very long either. I really like this expert a lot. Let's listen to him a little bit more. I'm just going to take it back a minute. She had auditory hallucinations. And after the trial, I remember it was wild. The birth father came out and did some interviews. And he even said something like she had equine therapy when she was little because of those auditory hallucinations.
Depressed, that the auditory hallucinations, meaning that she was hearing voices, that those continued, that these experiences of feeling like the world wasn't real continued. And then somewhere between the ages of 9 and 11, the depression continued, and she then began to cut herself. And as I understand it, she'd been cutting herself for about 2 years. So starting around the age of 12, that she would, on a fairly regular basis.
Sorry to correct you, Lozzie. This was not a bench trial. This was a jury trial. It was 100% a jury trial because they're going to talk about the jury verdict. I'm just going to delete that so that people don't get confused. This is Carly Gregg. I don't know. You might be thinking of a different case.
Make superficial cuts on her thighs as a way to help manage her anxiety and distress.
Dr. Clark reads a series of journal entries Carly wrote in the week leading up to the crime.
So writing on March 12th, Tuesday, she writes, "I think I had a psychotic break earlier. The whole ordeal was quite silly. I actually spoke with one of the voices in my head. Well, I didn't hear them until earlier today, but I only do then. My particular friend and I were practically screaming bloodthirstily and ravenously. Thank God, physical confrontation was not, and I think it's fruitively possible. I sound crazy. In the period of time.
That was, what did he say? March 12th? The murder was March 19th. That was a week before.
Up until March 12th, CARLY reported that her mood was flat, that she was zombie, that she was still quite depressed, she was still cutting. She also reported that the voices were getting worse, that they were becoming more urgent, more prominent, and she was beginning to worry that they were taking over.
She was hearing voices.
Now, she told me that the only thing the voices said to her were things that were kind of elitist, like you're better than those people. Like that's the only thing she told me they said. So her mood is.
I wonder if Luigi Mangione heard voices in his head too. I'm just wondering.
Poor. The voices are getting worse. Her sleep continues to be bad, and she's smoking marijuana on 2 or 3 times a week. She also reported she had a fair amount of anxiety during this time as well.
So what, if anything, did CARLY tell you occurred on the Sunday prior to the incident of March 19th, which was a Tuesday?
So CARLY told me that she had been put on Lexapro on March 12th, and that she found that almost immediately, very quickly, her mood swings were worse, that she was having lower lows and higher highs.
There it is. 1 week before the murder, March 12th, Lexapro. Crazy side effects. Lower lows, higher highs. We are experimenting on our children with pharmaceuticals. Maybe. Opinion.
In that week leading up to March 19th. She told me that the voices were getting worse, that they were becoming more urgent, more insistent, more of a problem for her. And then she told me that on that Sunday, March 17th, that she had smoked marijuana that morning, that her mother and stepfather had gone to the store. She was alone in the house. She'd smoked some marijuana, and that she had about a 20-minute experience where her thoughts were racing, her thoughts were jumbled. She was really frightened, and she kind of fell to the floor because she wasn't sure that she was going to be able to control her body.
Okay. Now she's tripping. I don't know. Could there be some something with the interaction between the Lexapro and was it synthetic marijuana that she was smoking? Because this is what I want to know. Was it flour, or was it the synthetic type stuff that she maybe bought bootleg from a kid at school and has no idea what's in it? Because that frightens me too. Remember the guy who got on the subway train when Daniel Penny happened, luckily, to be on the subway train, was on some sort of synthetic marijuana, and that can make people psychotic. I don't know that they dug deep enough into that. This was not a bench trial. Lawsy, this was not a bench trial. This was a jury trial. You must be behind. You must be talking about Mackenzie Shirilla. If you're behind, you're obviously not even hearing my comments right now. But listen to what he's telling us. He's telling us everything. She was alone in the house. Maybe she went like nuts. Maybe she had like a psychotic break. The Lexapro, the whatever she was smoking out of, whatever vape pen. Because remember, they talked about the mom finding the vape pens.
How she'd smoked some marijuana, and that she had about a 20-minute experience where her thoughts were racing, her thoughts were jumbled, she was really frightened, and she kind of fell to the floor because she wasn't sure that she was going to be able to control her body. She said it was a very scary experience for her, unlike anything she had before, and that after about 20 minutes it passed, and then she was sort of back to herself.
CARLY Gregg chooses not to take the stand in her own defense. After 5 days of testimony, both sides delivered their final arguments to the jury.
Ladies and gentlemen.
To the jury. They delivered their arguments to the jury, to the jury, to the jury. Bottle Waffle says SSRIs can cause mania in people with bipolar disorder. And as I recall, they were prescribing her these things over Zoom at the time. I always am shouting into the abyss. Okay, here we go.
There's no doubt that Carly Madison Gregg is the one who killed her mom, Ashley Smiley. There's no doubt that she attempted to kill Heath Smiley when she aimed the gun right at his head and shot and hit him in the shoulder. And there's no doubt that she's the one who hid the camera, thus tampering with evidence in the refrigerator. And we would ask you that you go back there and you find her guilty of all three, because she was not insane at the time that this happened. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she knew the difference between right and wrong.
I am asking you for those reasons to please find Carly Gregg not guilty by reason of insanity and finally quell this storm for Carly and her family. No one will understand this case, and no one has heard this case the way that you have. And passing judgment on another person is a heavy burden to bear. And I'm sorry that it falls on you. But please consider what is at stake in this case for this child and this family before you rush to judgment and render your verdict. Look at those documents. Consider the testimony. Search your heart for what you know about this child from the picture painted by her of all the people that knew her best. And you tell me, what was the intent?
The jury is sent to deliberate. In less than 2 hours, they came back with a verdict.
Ms. Gregg, please rise and come to the podium. Along with your...
I just got to move the captions away from, this is heartbreaking. Trigger warning. This is heartbreaking. Here's Judge Dewey K. Arthur. And we need to see his plaque. I really felt like he had some sort of empathy for her. That's why he was pushing this thing to go to trial so quickly within 6 months of the murder. Remember with Lindsay Clancy, says borderline, the doctor reported that putting a person with bipolar disorder on SSRIs/antidepressants, it exacerbates the highs and lows. And that is exactly what she told the doctor after it was too late. Thank you for reminding me of that. And the only reason we learned that about Lindsay Clancy was by going over the medical malpractice wrongful death lawsuit filed by her husband, Patrick Clancy, who, by the way, some of you sent me an article. He got married again recently. Lindsay Clancy's, I guess, ex-husband. He's still standing by her. It was when we went over the civil cases in Lindsay Clancy that we got all that information, right?
What was the intent?
The jury is sent to deliberate. In less than 2 hours, they came back with a verdict.
Ms. Gregg, please rise and come to the podium.
Less than 2 hours.
Along with your attorneys. The verdicts appear to be in proper form. Verdict of the jury is count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in the indictment. Please be seated, Ms. Gregg. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury is custom for the court to poll the jury. I have to do it each time. And for each count, I'm not being rude. The quickest way for me to get through this is to simply point at you and you answer out loud. As to count 1, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Beginning on the first row, ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? You got to answer out loud, ma'am. I'm sorry. On the back row, sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? That verdict is proper and unanimous. As to count 2, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Beginning on the first row, ma'am, is that your verdict?
Ashley Smiley's parents, her mother's parents, her grandparents stand behind her 100%.
Yes. Carly Gregg is found guilty on all charges. The 15-year-old now faces the rest of her life in prison. Less than 2 hours after the verdict, Carly faces sentencing. There were no victim impact statements, and Carly chose not to speak.
Your sentences will be as follows. As to count 1.
Wait, hold on. So she was 15 when the verdict came in. She was 14 at the time of the crime, only 6 months in between. Less than 2 hours of deliberation.
In prison. Less than 2 hours after the verdict, Carly faces sentencing.
Less than 2 hours later, the judge handed down her sentence. There was no PSI. There was no Miller hearing, right? A separate pre-sentencing reports. Less than 2 hours later, Judge Dewey K. Arthur is now sentencing her. She looks like a baby to me.
There were no victim impact statements, and CARLY chose not to speak.
Your sentences will be as follows. As to count one, the jury having fixed the verdict at life imprisonment, this court will sentence you to life imprisonment. As to count two, you'll be sentenced to life imprisonment. As to count three, you'll be sentenced to 10 years to serve.
Following CARLY's conviction and sentence, CARLY's defense attorneys appealed for a new trial, citing new evidence that came to light after trial. The motion cites a local television news interview CARLY's biological father did after the trial. The defense argues had that evidence been presented at trial, it could have led to a different result. In the TV news interview with local station WLBT, Kevin Gregg reportedly said his daughter had suffered from auditory hallucinations as a child. In the filing, the defense wrote in part, quote, "This new information supports Dr. Clark's diagnosis of unspecified schizophrenic disorder and is likely to lead to a different result at a new trial. As such, CARLY is entitled to a new trial." In their motion, the defense also raised concerns about whether CARLY was mature enough to understand the charges against her, make decisions about plea offers, and participate in her own defense. In the defense's motion, Bridget Todd pointed to the fact a person on a jury in Mississippi must be at least 21 years old to serve, meaning CARLY was much younger than the peers who decided on her fate. On October 21st of 2024, Rankin County Circuit Court Judge Dewey Arthur denied the motion for a new trial. CARLY Gregg's attorneys then filed a new appeal with the Mississippi Supreme Court. Since that filing, CARLY has changed her legal counsel. She's now being represented by attorney James Murphy. In April of 2026, Mississippi's highest court agrees to hear CARLY's appeal.
That's huge. Mississippi's highest court agreed to hear the appeal. We are going to watch the appellate arguments this Wednesday. Let's see if they speak to him because I didn't see this part.
As of this recording, the Mississippi Supreme Court is scheduled to hear oral arguments on May 27, 2026. CARLY Gregg continues to serve her sentence at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility in the Youthful Offender Unit. Thanks for tuning into this episode. I'm Elizabeth.
So there is a Youthful Offender Unit. Praise be. At least there's that. There's a Youthful Offender Unit in the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility. And we will watch the appellate arguments on Wednesday, the 27th. Let us see. My CARLY Gregg playlist contains maybe 11 or 12 videos. And my first show on this was September 6th, 2024. The trial began September 16th, 2024. And it was a complete shock to, I think, everyone. Is Kelsey tomorrow? I'm not sure. Is she? Is there a Kelsey hearing tomorrow? Hold on. Tomorrow I have in my calendar, there's the Farwell motion to suppress, but as we know, there's no cameras allowed there. I don't know if Kelsey has a hearing tomorrow. You can let me know if you find out, Mouse Dad. The issues on appeal is arguing that the trial was unfair and the life sentence without parole is unconstitutional for a minor. Prosecutors maintain that the trial was fair and they're asking the court to affirm the conviction and sentence. If I can get a hold of the briefs, I might have them somewhere in my inbox and read them. I can bullet point them for you before we watch the appellate arguments at I don't even know what time yet in Mississippi on Wednesday. All right, my friends. If you didn't see the CARLY Gregg trial, let me know how, if any way, that affected you just watching the recap of the CARLY Gregg trial. That was all the way back in September of 2024. Just one of the many trials that we have covered on this channel. Music to My Soul says, you probably haven't had a chance to read the new Aaron Spencer motion papers yet, have you, Mel? Nope. Looking forward to your take when you're ready. I don't know when they're hearing that motion, when, if ever. We did talk about it a bunch, though, on the fundraiser that I was on with Allie and Bob Mata on the Defense Diaries channel. So they did talk about it a lot with a lot of guests who came on, including Bob Alessi and David Yannetti, which was very, Interesting. And Zoe says the Sarah Grace Patrick case is baffling to me. I have seen probable cause for that case. I haven't. You have seen? I haven't seen any. I don't know. They say there's mountains of evidence in Sarah Grace Patrick, but guess we're gonna have to wait to see during the next. The trial's supposed to start in August, right? I have to follow up on that and see what is exactly happening and if there's any new filings that I haven't read yet. Because they said there's mountains of evidence and I haven't seen any of it. Dana says, I've worked with many incarcerated teens convicted of murder. Generally, they receive juvenile life, then were released. Young violent females were held in our facility until adult age, then transferred. I don't know what state you are in, but thank you for your service. And once again, today is, hold on one second. Oh, that's an awesome cake that you made, Paula. Today is Memorial Day, and today is the day that we honor all of the very selfless, courageous men and women who died in service of this country, fighting for the rights that many people take for granted around here, seems like. Sherilyn said the meds she was on changed brain chemistry, literally, like teenagers' brains aren't being bombarded with hormones already, a travesty. Paula says you're on a TV daily. Read me the phone book. I appreciate you. J. Michael says telehealth is very common in mental health. I know. Do you think that's a problem? J. Michael said if it was the interaction of SSRI and marijuana, would that trigger self-intoxication, negation of insanity? The jury didn't even get that far. They just found her guilty of all charges in less than 2 hours. So we'll see what happens with the appeal on Wednesday. As you buckle your seatbelts and get ready, I'm going to teleport you over to the 6 p.m. stream in which we are going to talk about some of the new documents that were released in the Karen Read FOIA dump. And the topic is A Tale of Two Cousins, Brian and Colin. And some stuff about Allie too, which we will talk about. Some things that just made me say, Thank you for spending so much of your day with me today. It is 3 hours and 20 minutes in, and I hope that you enjoyed it. We're going to come back at 6 o'clock for our next episode of the day. I hope you will join me there. So buckle up your seatbelts because it's not going to be a bumpy ride. But stay cool, stay kind, stay classy, stay safe. Above all, don't believe everything you read on the internet. And come on back, 6 p.m. Go take a break. You have about 2.5 hours to get your act together before you come back. I love you guys. We're on a 2 a day. We're on a 2 a day on this Memorial Day. Yes, we don't want her to go free. We just think a child should get different treatment than a full-blown adult, especially one who was hearing voices and may have had a psychotic break. And that's that. Buckle up, buttercups. Thanks, mods. I love you so much. I'll see y'all on the flip side at 6 p.m. Peace.